Hi, this your girl, Lady She podcast. I'm your host, Shanice the Word. Tonight's episode is one for the heart, just like the one we had the other day. Shout out to Mr. Randy Walker Jr., this amazing king. Oh my gosh, I just get overwhelmed even thinking about his story and all he went through and just his strength in God. So once again, on tonight, I have an autism mom who is not just handling her business as a mother with her son, but she's also an advocate and she's also pushing other mothers to stay encouraged and to have strength, understanding that they're not alone when it comes to this community of autism. I'm thankful that just like when Randy was on, we spoke about the difference between programs and different things they had back then. They didn't have much back then. They were kind of still learning about autism, about this thing called autism. But now there are a lot of things out there. There's communities, and you're not alone. If you desire, to learn about autism, the spectrum and, different avenues to get the help you need, to get support that you need. So I'm really thankful that, Miss Melissa Mason accepted my invitation. Once again, social media can be a positive thing if you use it the right way. I know a lot of people I would speak to, I would try to connect to. They're like, oh, I don't do Facebook because of this. I don't do Instagram because of this. I don't do this because of that. And, you have the right to block people. Like I have block parties where people too crazy. I have no problem saying, boop. If you're not getting paid for these followers or anything like that, you shouldn't really take it personal. You can command your peace. You can command, your ear gates, your eye gates, and, block people or unfollow whatever you need to do so that those you are connected to are positive energy only or things that are helping you to grow only. So, my point is there are groups and things that you can join, to stay connected and to stay connected, and to stay educated on certain subjects. And autism is definitely one of them. We know that in the past couple of years, unfortunately, we've seen, situations where clearly police aren't trained. And we've had, our special needs adults murdered because the lack of training and law enforcement not understanding signs and things of when they encounter someone with special needs. So there has been fatalities, there has been blatant murder, when it comes to the community of special needs and people who battle mental health and things of that nature. And, this platform is also for that, to bring, to encourage, to empower, and to educate. And personally, I would love to see where it is made known that, the law enforcement as a whole, is being trained, to, how should I say? They should be trained to recognize, when they are encountering someone with special needs. I know for my son in particular, this wasn't law enforcement, this was just a crazy person. When Zimmerman murdered Trayvon, it resonated in my spirit because for one, he looks so much like my son, but also because he took matters into his own hands, and it was hurtful. But at the same token, the training of certain things. I know Trayvon wasn't autistic, but because he looked like my son so much, I was on top of my son even more in reference to being careful, wearing his hoodies, being mindful where he's walking, his surroundings, and also understanding, praying over him all the more, anointing him when he walk out the door, because if he did encounter a police officer who's never who's not connected to the special needs community, or who's never encountered someone with special needs, sometimes if you're talking to my son, he may not respond to you. So that could be looked at as disrespect, from law enforcement. And everyone who wears a badge is not there to serve and protect. Some of them are on the job because, well, some of them were bullied in school. Now they have a badge and they can do what they want. And I'm saying that from the experience that I know, because I was also harassed by police in my community because I come from a predominantly Black community. People I know were harassed, and I would have fear. I'm a woman of God. I have faith, but I would have fear for my son to encounter the wrong person and the wrong law enforcement officer who would not understand that he's not responding. Um, it's a lot. So, to the mothers and the fathers who are raising their children the best they can, my prayers are out to you. And, there is help. There are groups. There are avenues you can take, for your mental health, for you to get through this thing, and for you to keep your son or your daughter to be productive people, productive adults in society. So I am excited, about tonight's episode with Miss Melissa Mason. Share this live, go to my YouTube page, subscribe to Hot Mic with Lady She podcast. I also want to thank I am the business owner, but I wasn't think She's Got Tees. I will post my shirt after this live, after this episode. Today I decided to wear rhinestone that said faith, because we need faith right now. In life, things go on and we're disappointed. I'll see on blogs and things, people speaking about our president and our vice president, things like that. People will disappoint you that you put your faith into, but if you put your faith in God, whew, he will blow your mind. If you put your faith in God, even when things look a certain way, you know that you're going to come out on top because you trust him. He can't fail us. There's no failure in God. And, the prayers of the righteous availeth much. So I am thankful, for my relationship with God. I'm thankful that my son has a relationship with God. I'm thankful that, parents like Randy's father and mom, taught him about who he is. We are peculiar people. We are royal priesthood. We are made different. And everybody's not going to understand us, but God loves us beyond. So, faith is the t-shirt for tonight. And if you're looking for t-shirts, you can go to she'sgottees.com, or you can follow me on Instagram. She's Got Tees, one word. That's SHESTEE. I'm sorry, SHESGOTTEES. One word on Instagram. Make sure you don't forget the S, because I had someone duplicating my page. I keep getting reports and things. People keep trying to duplicate my page, which is weird. Be careful of the scammers out there, y'all. They are on go. Like, they are scamming about everything. So that is, if you don't see the S, is She's Got Tees. It is not my page, but you can always inbox me or DM me. I'm also on Facebook as well. She's Got Tees, LLC, and you can order shirts. I do customized shirts, bling, whatever you desire. So that's what we are on tonight. Also, I have my book, God Over Puzzle Pieces, A Mother Who Prays. A Mother Who Prays. You can always order my book and let me know what you think. There will be more books to come. I'm excited about that. There will be more coming from my son. Both of them actually. So, just continue to pray for one another. God is moving, and we just got to stay excited for all that God is doing. I'm going to welcome in Miss Melissa Mason of Extraordinary Moms. Let me make sure I say that, because I love the name.
Hi,
Melissa.
how are you?
I am great. I saw you going in and out. I'm like,
Yeah, I was like,
she knows she can stay there, right? I'm gonna just let her in. I said maybe I didn't emphasize. I'm not sure. It's all good, because I can just keep going, child. I'm gonna keep talking about God. It don't matter to me. I'll just sit there right by myself. How are you tonight?
I am good.
I'm
good.
glad. I love the headband.
Oh, we gotta represent.
Absolutely. I was just telling the people. I was like, because I was in there making a shirt. Oh, and I did see a message. I saw your message. I got you. Yes. Making a shirt. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to family, and I'm rushing. I'm like, oh man, I'm messing this up. I'm like, let me think of something else. And all day, I was thinking, talking to God. I'm like, this subject is, it's here for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, this woman had to have faith.
Yes.
To get where she is. This woman had to have faith to jump out there and start making these journals for the autism moms and just keep them encouraged. And so that's a shirt I made for myself for tonight. So instead of an autism shirt, I made a faith shirt. So I'll post it later for you guys to see, but I'm so excited. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. Absolutely. I am just in awe of you. Me and you had a whole encounter on our phone call, right? Like, it was so so good.
Girl, if it was. I'm
I
still
was like,
like,
God, if this is how a phone call going, what we gonna do on this live? Like, it's about to be up. Like, we about to enjoy ourselves. We about to bless people,
oh
and
my
we're gonna
God.
glorify you. So you are welcome to take the floor if you want to introduce yourself in a certain manner. You are welcome to do so before I start my questions.
Okay. Oh, I'm so nervous. I don't know
It's
why.
okay. It's okay.
Thank you for having me. This is definitely a divine connection, a God connection.
Yes.
I'm feeling all because I'm just like, God, really? This what you want to do?
This
But
is
it's
what he
okay.
doing, honey.
What he doing? And we
We
just
in it.
ready. When he said I move, we move just like that, right?
That's it. Just like that.
So I am Melissa. I am a proud autism mommy. I mean, proud autism mom of a 12-year-old amazing genius.
He's so handsome.
Oh
He's
my
so
God.
handsome too, y'all.
Oh, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
I'm just here to share, to encourage, as we do as mommies, because
Mhm.
we know that it takes a village,
Absolutely.
and not just only for our special needs children, but also
Right.
for children on a whole.
Absolutely.
But because that's our area, we're definitely going to emphasize on that. But
Mhm.
I'm just a mommy, and I'm in love with my son. I love it.
Yes.
Do. I'm an advocate for special needs children.
Mhm.
I'm that mama. I'm that praying mama, but I'm that mama that would show up at IEP meetings too.
I know that's right. I know all about them meetings.
You know,
They
right?
wasn't having them without me. I know all about that. So yeah, I definitely want you to tap into that for those who do not know what we're talking about right now.
Mhm.
You can actually start off, like where you from, where'd you grow up, and
Okay.
we can just
No,
keep
it's
on going.
okay because I don't know. Okay, so I'm from Brooklyn, born in
BK.
BK, but I was originally born in Jamaica, the Caribbean, the West Indies.
All right, JANBK. Okay.
Yes, and spent most of my life in New York, in
Mhm.
Brooklyn, and then relocated. Now I'm in New Jersey,
Okay.
but New York was it for me.
Right.
That's where everything started. That's where I birthed my son.
Mhm.
That's where everything, the journey started, actually. And that's how my son's name, Jordan, came about because it's short for journey with his dad name on the end. So we
Oh,
put
I
it
love
together.
that.
Yeah, I give credit to daddy. That was his idea.
Okay. That was cool. That was cool. I love that.
Yeah, so
Awesome, awesome,
together.
awesome. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So your son is 12 now.
Yes.
Now, walk us through, were you married?
Yes.
How this came about. Okay, so you were married,
Hmm.
you have your son, and then how did things go from there where you realize, okay, something's going on with my son?
Okay, so Jordan, at the age around 4 or 5 is when he got his diagnosis because I wasn't privy or knowledgeable of early intervention in New
Mhm.
York. And it's something when you're a mom that don't have support or don't have resources or no one
Mhm.
to educate you on certain things because nobody gets up and is like, I'm going to have a child with any kind of special needs or superpower, as I call it.
Right.
So
Mhm.
it was one of those things where we realized, okay, he's not speaking and
Mhm.
we need to find out what's going on.
Right.
Um, I'm a mom. I'm going to ask questions. We'll take him to pediatric visits. He had a tied tongue, and
Mhm.
it's like
Wait, what
literally.
explain what that is.
Okay, I'll explain what it is. I can't remember the medical term, but it's
Okay.
literally the string that's under your tongue here. It was
Mhm.
attached closer to his teeth.
Got
So
you. So his
what
was
happened
shorter. His was shorter.
was shorter, and his tongue was behind like this. So this is
Right.
how we literally.
Okay. Got
So
you.
with that hindered his process of communication. And
Mhm.
I mentioned that to his pediatrician, and I was like, "Well, he has a tied tongue." I knew
Mhm.
medically that it had to get snipped in order
Right.
for it to be loosened so he can actually communicate. I got a fight from the doctors. Oh, he doesn't need to do that. He will grow out of it. You'll never grow out of a tied tongue. If it's
Right,
not
right.
medically snipped, and it's a simple procedure,
Right.
he will not be able to speak. So,
Mhm.
being the mom that I am, we're not going to stop there. We're going to find out.
Right.
I'm
Right.
going to do. Went on a mission, found a place that at the time in Brooklyn, it was Kings County Hospital. Went
Mhm.
there, got a surgeon. They did right away. Take a
Right.
few days, got healed.
Okay.
Now moving forward, at the age of 5 years old, he's in what, pre-K? And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay. They're like, Miss Edwards, your son is not speaking. He is not progressing. He had the sensitivity, the air. He can't, the noise, the extra sounds,
Noise.
he's hiding under the desk, under the table. He's not socializing. So we definitely knew something was wrong.
Right.
So it was at that point where the principal at school at the time he was attending said to me, "Mommy, we're gonna have to do something about this." I said,
Right.
"Yeah, but I don't know what to do." She said, "Being that
Right.
my grandson had that same situation, I'm gonna recommend that you go to Department of Education. You're gonna have to get an evaluation." I mean, all these terms that I've never heard of in my life. It was
Right.
all being told to me like, boom, bam, bam. You got to go here. First time mom.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, my mom wasn't around to support
Mm-hmm.
me, and
Right.
I didn't have anyone to call on but his father. Daddy had to go to work. So here
Right.
you are, that mom, have to be the mom. Postpartum, having the child,
Yeah.
premature child. I'll just back it up a little bit.
Explain what postpartum is also for those who may not
Okay.
know.
Right. So postpartum is like it's there's different levels to it. Luckily, I
Absolutely.
didn't go into deep depression, but
Mm-hmm.
basically, it's when a mother has a child, and after she gives birth to that child, she goes through a series of psychological or emotional breakdowns or roller coasters or whatever you want to call it. Some
Right.
are severe than some, but you're like, my body, having a baby, everything has changed. I don't know if I look
Yes.
beautiful anymore. I don't know if I could be this mommy to this child.
Right.
Psychologically, mind is all over the place. I don't know if I can do this. So, given that, having a premature child, because he came a little bit before time. He was in the NICU, had to go through all that.
Okay.
And you're here a couple of years later to find out your child have a special need.
Right.
So you're still going through the process of like healing and like, okay, postpartum, and here we go.
Here
Smack
we
with
go.
all that. I'm
Right.
like, God, okay, I don't know. And I'm going to church and all that. But at the end of the day, it's a you thing. You and
Oh
God
yeah.
thing.
Absolutely.
Daddy was there. He did the best that he could, but there's so much that Daddy knows. And Mommy's always got to be minor, superhero, super mom.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, God, what am I going to do? I have certain teachers in the classroom, and I'm not against education because I'm also an educator. I've done, and some of the teachers were like, oh, he's not going to talk. What is wrong with your child? You need to do this.
His
You need to
actual
do that.
teacher?
Oh, yes.
His
Damn.
teachers?
Oh, teachers, educators.
Listen.
And listen,
Wow.
I went up to the principal. I said, I don't know how you have these untrained individuals.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I said, but I'm playing in your classroom handling
Mm-hmm.
children with special needs, and they're not even trained. But
Right.
I gave them the benefit of the doubt because the spectrum was fairly new, and it's a
Right.
broad spectrum when it comes to autism. So therefore, it's hard for a lot of parents or even educators to understand the dynamics. But it's not
So
an excuse.
not to cut
Mhm.
you off. So
Go ahead.
tap
Mhm.
into I was trying to explain the spectrum
Mhm.
before. What did they actually say? Your son, what was it? What were they
Okay.
saying?
Okay. Firstly, they did not know what to diagnose him with. So the first
Okay.
diagnosis was learning and speech impairment.
Well, they did that to me too. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it was broad, so therefore it wasn't really
Mm-hmm.
specific because they didn't know exactly what it is.
Right.
And the spectrum is so broad. So we did evaluations. You got a little
Mm-hmm.
5-year-old little baby. You have these evaluators over here taking these different tests and this, and he's nervous, he's afraid. They got him in a room. Oh, well, he didn't score enough. He's a baby. So
Right.
you're not going to get that response. So then
Right.
they're labeling this and that. I said, okay, go ahead, do what you got to do because I'm not against his the therapies that he needed. So with that, we were getting special services. At
Right.
that time, I had someone that was coming to the home to evaluate, to educate and do services with him, as well as occupational therapy and speech therapy.
Right.
And we had that for some time till they transferred into the school.
Okay.
Then he went to first grade, second grade, and stuff like that. So yeah, we did all that, and I still had social workers, the psychologist telling me, I don't think he's gonna talk, mommy. I don't think he's gonna do that. But because
And
the
now he's 5 and 6, or he's 4 and 5.
4, 5, 6, 7, even at
Oh,
7, he was
so this
doing
went on for some years.
yes, yes.
Wow.
And though he had the therapies, it took some time because he can speak and he can read, but it wasn't like full sentences.
Right.
But
Mom would understand.
yeah,
Mom could understand. I would explain to people when they would ask me the same thing. I'm like, no, I understood what he would be saying,
yes,
but I understood that people that he was encountering wasn't trained.
no,
So they're just like, something's wrong. They
right,
just like, get your kid. And I'm like, actually, he's probably smarter than most of the kids have been here, but he just
absolutely.
can't express it. So
There you go.
that alone is a challenge for a mom, where you're trying to tell somebody, no, my kid, he actually is progressing and he
Yeah.
actually does know what he's saying, but you just
Mhm,
don't understand. It's a lot.
mhm.
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
So yeah, and I had to be like the translator because be mommy, it's innate. It's an innate
Yeah, it's
ability
innate.
where you become
Absolutely.
where you understand. You're translating for your child. What is he saying? I'm saying this is what he's saying. It was something that just became so
Yeah.
normal to me that I'm like, oh, this is what he's trying to say.
Right.
Given
And
that,
that's the thing. It's
mhm,
normal to us. It's
yes,
normal to us, but it's not normal to them.
no,
So that's what brings the energy of like, you still got to help my kid, even though you don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. Go
oh
ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, 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 girl. But listen, it's all
Yeah.
good. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad that we're on the level where we understand. And this is
Yeah.
why when God led me to do Extraordinary Moms, I'll go
Mhm.
to that in a
Yeah, we're
minute.
gonna go into
But
that. Yeah.
going through to his processing and dealing with the class and the teachers, I'm going to tell you this. The students, the little kids were more accommodating to my son
I
than the
bet.
teachers.
I bet.
They would come and you're like, Mommy, we're okay.
Mhm.
Jordani's going to be fine.
They're
Oh,
like, he's fine.
yeah,
We
we
did
got his,
this today.
yeah, he's
Mhm.
good. And they will give me all the inside scoop.
Isn't
They're
that
like,
something?
yeah, Jordan was good today. He had his iPad. Oh, mommy.
Yep.
And then you would think that would come from the adults.
It's true. It's true. She ain't lying.
And she
It's
lied.
true. She ain't lying.
They would tell me everything. And they'd be like,
Mhm.
Mommy. But, I went through that. And because, all the stigmas and things attached to autism and even special needs, like it was such a taboo years ago. No one
Yeah.
spoke of this. And
Yeah.
in our culture, it's like no one wants to tell nobody that little Timmy got some kind of a special need.
No, it's
They
true.
hide behind the mask and all of
Mhm.
that. But I'm that mommy. We're going to
Mhm.
talk about this.
Yeah. And let me get your take on this because I say
Mhm,
it all the time, but I want you to share
mhm,
because you are an advocate and you've created a community,
mhm,
for the moms. What do you say to the mom that is the mom or dad? I know you do extraordinary moms, but we're talking about
mhm,
parents as a whole,
mhm.
to the parent that sees this going on, knows something is going on with their child, but they're just kind of sitting. What do you say to that? I know what I usually say to it, but what do you say to that parent that's kind of basically in denial, and not understanding how detrimental it is to catch it early? Like, what do you say to them?
I would say because these children are loaned to us and their gift loaned to us by God,
My
we
God.
cannot be selfish because they don't belong to us.
Right.
So you got to get out of self,
Hmm.
because it's not
Hmm.
about you.
Right.
But the longer you take to even inquire or link up or get some kind of resources, you're hindering that child's ability or even
Say
the
that,
ability
Melissa.
for that child to get some kind of help.
Hmm.
So the
Hmm.
longer you take being selfish, because it's a
Hmm.
selfish act, because when
Yeah.
you become selfless, you come
Yeah.
out of, oh, my shame and my pride, and you humble yourself. And you
Yeah.
say, God, this is your child that you have entrusted me with.
Entrusted me.
So I got to make sure I do the best that I can, not perfect, but the
Right.
best that I can to make sure this child does not, because it's like my dad will always use this analogy and said that's like suicide. You're killing yourself. It's like
Yeah.
because you're hindering yourself or that the child or whomever from gaining what they need to grow.
Absolutely.
We're here to grow. So you cannot hinder that child's process because you're afraid. I get it. Because I was
Mhm.
scared out my listen, girl, I was scared out my mind.
I was scared. I was 23.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find my little self. I'm like, what is this, child?
You
But
the
I
thing.
knew, no, but I knew I couldn't just sit in it. I'm like, something's happening, and they weren't trained. I had them in so-called regular school,
Oh yeah.
and they were just like, yeah, he did this today, and he did this today, and he did this today. And then when
Mhm.
I went through the evaluation thing, I was
Mhm.
frustrated. I was ready to knock somebody out
Me
because
too.
lady who can't evaluate my son could count to 100 before
Yep.
he was like 3.
Yes.
So he knew all his color. He knew
Yes,
everything.
he did.
Okay. He was,
Mhm.
he was, when I promise you, no, that he
Yes.
was more advanced than the kids in his class,
Yes, ma'am.
but he couldn't speak well.
There you
So
go.
when they got evaluated and the lady's like, here, honey, can you count these blocks?
Right.
And the blocks that she put on the table, he
Mhm.
counted, and then he kept it pushing. And she gonna try to write that. I said, "No, boo.
Right.
He can count blocks." And I dumped all the blocks out. I said, "Count them blocks, Roger." And he
Right.
was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. And she's like,
Right.
"Oh," I said, "Yeah, he can count past 5,
Yes,
child. What you
yes,
about to
yes,
write?" And
yes,
that's when I knew. I
yes,
said, "Whoa, we got to stay on top of our children
yes,
when they have this
yes,
going on because some of them are just looking to just put a label on them and put them somewhere, but
yes.
not where they need to be."
There you
And
go.
that's the difference.
Yes,
Do you understand what I'm
absolutely.
saying? So
Oh,
that's the
absolutely.
intricate part. You have to be very, very hands on with your children.
Yes,
Yes, the people went to school for this. Yes, the people
yes,
are educated. Yes, they have degrees and things that you
yes,
don't. But you also have that mommy thing that they
yes,
don't have when it comes to your child. So it
exactly.
takes a team
Yes,
to help your child to get where they need to be. Not just you
Absolutely.
listening to this person, this doctor telling you, no, ma'am, no ham, no turkey. You
No,
got to be involved with your
exactly.
child. So I just had to say that, but keep
No, no,
going.
no, you're on point, and I'm going to interject. No, no, because it's important that we break this thing down for a lot of these people here or out there who may not know or may know
Yeah,
or they're educated, like you said. Yeah, you might have the degree, you might have that, you got degrees, so you're burning up, but that doesn't mean that doesn't take away from life experiences
right.
and hands on. And I would
Yeah.
say this that you have a child in a classroom and you have a curriculum, but when you have children with special needs or gifted children, because they're gifted,
They are.
you have to shift that curriculum around to
Yeah,
accommodate that child.
yeah,
You have to
absolutely.
because every child learns differently.
Right.
So you might put the blocks, like you said, they were telling your son, count this. He may have not interpreted that way because the approach was not the right way.
Yeah. No, she had her approach. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
She knew what she was doing.
But he wasn't.
We know what they do in our communities. We know what
Yes.
they do in our community. She
Yeah.
was gonna put down he could count to 5.
Right.
When
Yeah.
he was like 20, 30, 40, 50,
Mhm.
but if I wasn't there, this is
It
why
was,
you have to be involved. If I
it was,
wasn't there, if I was standing outside
oh, yeah.
where the glass was
Hmm.
and not sitting right there,
Hmm.
that paperwork would have been totally different. My son would have probably been somewhere where he was just gonna be sitting there, not
Yep.
growing.
Yep.
So you have to be
Absolutely.
involved.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
But go ahead,
Yes, yes,
Melissa.
yes, listen. And absolutely. And it's funny because my son was reading on the level of when he was in, I want to say first grade, he was reading on third grade level.
Third. I
But
know.
the thing is, what intrigued, and this is why these children
Yep.
are so amazing. I call them geniuses
Yeah.
because he was reading on a level. I mean, this boy loves to read. Even now, he
Mhm.
got his room is filled. Every day, I'm ordering books from Amazon for this kid,
Love it. Love it. Love it.
and they couldn't understand, but it's a comprehension thing.
Hmm.
He can read, but when you get the how, what, who, when, where,
Right.
and add on other little questions on there, then that
Right.
was a challenge for him to
Yeah.
process it. It's like another language.
Absolutely.
So then you have to know how to approach. And I think that's
Absolutely.
what a lot of these educators were missing.
Right.
And even those that are inclusion, I'm all in, I love the fact they have inclusion classrooms, but a
Mhm.
lot of these, you have a special education teacher and then you have a regular ed teacher. A
Mhm.
lot of times that's a lot of conflicts. And once again, they're not getting enough training and how to. They don't have enough aid and one-on-ones. That's another story.
Right.
So
That's
you
another
as
one.
a parent, you have to advocate. You have to show up to those IEP meetings. You have to educate yourself, mommies, of what.
Tell them what IEP is.
Okay, it's what is it? Individualized. Oh God, I should know this by head. Individualized something plan for the child. Like it's a special plan
Yeah.
that's put together for your child.
For your particular child.
For your
Mhm.
particular child. I should have had known the whole thing, but yeah. So basically, it's a plan. It's a legal document for those who
Mhm.
don't know. It's legal,
Right.
and it's everything that your child needs to
Mhm.
accommodate your child. Whether it's speech, it's OT. They need
Right.
an aid. They need extra time for testing. They need
Right.
a proctor. They need visual aid, physical equipment,
Right.
wheelchair, everything that that child
Right.
needs. It's a special plan made for your child
Right.
and it should be implemented. You should be able to, if there's something on that plan that you as mommy don't agree with, you can speak and say, we're going to
Absolutely.
get this redone.
Mhm.
And it's important. This is why I'm so passionate for what I do and other moms, because I was showing up to IEP meetings with moms in schools. Okay.
Mhm.
When my son was in the public school and I would hear, elder mothers or foster care mothers that didn't understand this whole process get so frustrated.
Yeah.
I will recall one day I was in Brooklyn and this mom, she was just cussing out that she was like, I can't be bothered. And I understood. And
Yeah.
she, like they trying to take my child out because they saying he's bad and he has behavioral issues and because they like to pin that on the kids.
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I stopped her. I said, hold on, because her daughter and my son was in the same classroom. I
Mhm.
said, hold on, my antennas went all the way off. I said, Mommy, hold up. Wait a minute. What happened?
Mhm.
What?
Yeah.
She said, well, I said, no, 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 no. We're going to the Department of Education, honey, and we're going to go through this thing together. I was
Amen.
in meetings with
Takes
her.
a village.
It takes a village. So I'm saying this to say that God allows us to go through some things, and
Mhm.
even the tears and all that. I said,
Yeah.
what's up? Why
Plenty of
me?
that. Plenty of that.
But
Plenty of that, honey.
it was necessary for now.
But God.
Girl,
Mhm.
don't get me
Mhm.
started.
Mhm. Mhm.
So moving forward, as he progressed, and I was getting the opposition.
Mhm.
He's not going to do this. I mean, me and teachers back and forth. I said at one point, I said to teacher, listen to me, sis. I'm gonna need you right now to just stop because what I'm gonna do, it ain't gonna be in a professional manner setting.
Okay.
And I ain't going to jail. Ain't nobody going. So I'm gonna need you to stop speaking right now and let
Right.
me speak to your principal. Because
Right.
what you're not going to do is point down and speak down to my child, talking about he's
Mhm.
acting like he's a little animal because he's rolling on the floor. I said, who you talking
Not
to?
the animal word. Oh no! Wow, no. Beloved, we ain't doing that.
We not do that.
Yeah, I don't
So
want these problems. Not the
so
animal word.
listen, and they know me. I rose up real quick.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you, you have to stay on top of it,
You do.
not just for special educate, but
You
your
do.
children.
Children,
You
period.
have to do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Absolutely. So now, how did this affect? Because I'll say this,
mhm,
and this is why I also want you on as well. I've seen both sides. I've
mhm,
seen where mom is frustrated because she has to be hands on because dad is checked out. And then I've seen dad be more hands on because mom is checked out.
mhm.
So how was the dynamics with you guys, through the years of when he was evaluated until he started to transition and started to progress? How was it on your relationship? Did it strain the relationship? How was he with his son? Because
Okay.
sometimes they shut down when they're confused. It's,
Yes.
you don't, like you said earlier, we don't wake up and say, I want my kid to be like this. We
Mhm.
don't wake up that way. So how was it on, your relationship with your husband and his relationship as a dad to his son?
Okay. So we know, daddies are gonna be daddies, and I think that they're more softer than we are in certain
Certain
situations. They're big, they're macho.
situations for sure.
Yeah, but when it comes to certain things, they're not built that way. And it's okay. This is why, as moms, we just wear those hats, and it is what it
Hmm.
is. We're naturally nurturers. This is how God created us. So,
Hmm.
daddy, a lot of times he'll get frustrated, like, okay, what's going on? But then he's also a gentle giant where
Hmm.
he'll be the one that say, when I'm ready to bust caps, he'll be like, calm down.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
gonna be okay, mom. And
Right.
I'm like, but you don't understand. Because see, daddy's daddy, and daddy shows up to me. He did. He was supportive at times, and he
Hmm.
was short, but then it's just different. It's
Yeah.
different with mom. So there's times when he did the best that he could do.
Hmm.
Being the dad, he did what
Right.
he could have done at that
Hmm.
time. So we're compassionate.
Yeah.
So we take everything in. We take it
Hmm.
in. We're sponges when it comes to our children. So, and
Hmm.
there's times when I'll just be still wrapped up in a funk for days.
Right. Right.
And it's like, it's like, all right, he'll say, Mel, you gotta, eat musa.
Chill
But I
out.
couldn't musa
Hmm. Yeah.
until I knew that my baby was okay. So
Right.
that would put a strain on the relationship. Of course it
Hmm.
did, but I'm like, he just don't understand. And then he'll be
Hmm.
in the corner like, God, she don't know that I understand something.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
she don't understand. I understand a different way. Like
Yes.
my approach to it is different. We feel
Yes.
the same way,
Yes.
but my approach to it is totally different. It does not mean I care less or I care more. We care, but
Yes.
my response to it is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So his dad would would I don't he would how would I say this? He would know how to attend to the other side of our child as far as his giftings too. That's where my son developed the passion and learned how to play music. Because
Oh,
he
explain. He
yes.
was a musician.
Yes, his
Or
dad
he?
is a
Uh-huh.
musician.
Oh, I love
And
that.
it's funny, my son at the age of 2, 3 had a guitar his dad had, and he would play that guitar. He would go to
Mhm.
church, and he wanted to be where the drums are. And
Yeah.
he would dance, and he would sing, and he would move around. And his dad would play the piano in the house, and it just developed his memory. Their memories are so
Hmm.
amazing.
And music, period. Like
Yes,
it's that's why they call it
therapeutic.
universal language. Like if you
Hmm.
can't reach a child with just speaking, music can always
Hmm.
reach them. That's
Yes,
why
ma'am.
you would make songs.
Yes,
Just make if you're trying to teach them something, make it into a song. They're gonna learn that thing. Music is so powerful. So that's I love that you shared that. I love
yes.
that. I love that. Love that.
But hear
Wow.
this, as you said that, it just reminded me. One of the things that helped my son to
Hmm.
learn wasn't
Hmm.
in school. It was actually YouTube. Because
Mm.
of the music, the connection that he had, because we know repetition leads to retention.
Right, right,
You have
exactly.
nursery rhymes, so you repeat, you repeat, you
Hmm.
repeat. And you know that children with autism and they're on spectrum, they like to repeat things.
Yes,
And it
it's
becomes
it's called
compulsive.
it's called echoing.
Echo, there you
Hmm.
go.
Hmm.
And he would play and he would listen. to these songs while they're given instructions on how to potty, how to this. So if you were
Right.
in my Brooklyn apartment, I would have charts all over my wall, instructions on how to. This is how we put our pants on, and we would do sing-alongs. I literally knew
Yeah.
every YouTube sing-along. And I don't know what I used to
I
know.
know that's a fact. I know
Along.
that's right.
But listen, we were singing all them all those songs, and the educational ABC is for Apple MD, and I'm on the street singing that to
Absolutely.
my baby. And he
Okay,
learned, he
exactly.
developed his skills to learn. So they were like, "How did he learn?" And he's
Mm-hmm.
watching YouTube videos because he would listen. He's a visual learner because they're very
Right.
visual, and he would
Mm-hmm.
listen and he would repeat it. So what he
Mm-hmm.
would do is we repeat the message that's going on, whether it was an instruction or they're teaching him how to tie his laces, and then
Mm-hmm.
he will make that and apply that to his daily routine.
Love it, love it, love it. Now let me ask you this. I remember one time my son was
Mhm,
small. We went to
mhm,
visit family
mhm,
and they took my son to visit someone that was a friend of theirs. And the
mhm,
lady almost seemed like she was annoyed. She had
mhm,
some type of device or something at her house where I guess
mhm,
when kids would come over, there was a particular thing that other people could not figure out, but my son figured out immediately.
mhm,
So she was in awe of him. But then it was almost like she got frustrated with him because he was really small.
mhm.
And she asked him about writing something, and she got upset because he was writing in cursive. And she was like, "Yeah, because he was like
He was like,
writing, and
writing,
he kept like trying to write in cursive." I said, "Well, he knows how to write in cursive." She's like, "Well, he's only such and such age." I said, "Your point?
right.
Well, why would he know how to do that?" I said, "Because I taught him." And she just looking at me
That's very
like she it was
condescending.
almost like it almost like annoyed her
Yeah.
that this kid knew how to do something that most did not know how to do, and that he figured
Uh-huh.
out something that was in her home that most adults couldn't figure out, and he figured it
Mhm,
out just
mhm,
like that. So have you ever
mhm.
had encounters where someone you were somewhere, maybe family or a friend's house or something like that, and the person was kind of looking like, why is he doing it that way, or why is he like this? Have you ever had to have encounters where you had to explain, like, well, this is this?
Oh yeah. I mean, many encounters. I mean, and going to church, going on dinner, going out to family, going here, and they're looking like, and they're like, and I'm like, I'm just waiting.
Like, go ahead and do it. You like, I wish you would.
I wish you would. I wish I would. But a lot of times, honestly,
I already
people can
know.
be
I
very
already know. Trust me.
condescending and very belittling. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, don't you dare pacify this, and don't think this is a little situation where you gotta don't no. This is not
Yeah.
the type of
He good.
situation here.
Mm-hmm.
Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times because they don't understand, let me tell you something. Ignorancy
Mm.
roots it breeds anger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
when people and instead because the root of it is pride.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're humble enough, when you don't know something, you'll say, you know what?
You'll ask or you'll see.
You'll ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says a child will lead the way.
That's a
The hidden
fact.
from the wise and prudent will be revealed to the babes and suckling.
Right.
If you have a child here that is teaching you something because your mindset and what you think a 2-year old should be doing or 5-year
Mm-hmm.
old has now been challenged,
Right.
and because you have this mindset and the stigma, oh well, he's autistic, he's special needs, so he shouldn't
He
have that.
can't.
Your,
Yep.
your, your perception has already been
Yeah.
perverted.
Right.
So if you want to go there, we'll go there. But see,
Yeah.
this is why children are so pure because their mindset, they're not thinking all
Yes.
that. But when you have
No.
perception and perversion and these preconceptions and these things in your mind that's cluttered, you can't even see the beauty of what this child is
Right.
doing. You
Right.
can't even say to that child and say, you know what, you did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
awesome. And
You're
this is why,
awesome.
as a mother, I'm one of those that tell my son, you are a genius. You are
Yes.
smart. You are intelligent. Oh, those affirmations, he got it. He'd be like, oh, mommy,
Yes, honey.
I said, you're the smartest kid in this world.
You better say it. Those
And this is,
affirmations,
yes, the
honey.
affirmations are so important.
Absolutely.
Words are powerful. Forget about the fact that the child might have a need, gifted or not. It is important as parents that we edify our children.
Absolutely.
We need to reassure them.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Girl.
All right. Ooh, I love it. Yes. Okay. So now let's tap into, how did you get to a place where you said, I'm going to be an advocate? This is beyond me seeing this lady in Brooklyn having a fit and being frustrated and me saying, I'm going to go in there with you. This is beyond that. What was the point where you were like, I got to do more?
I believe
Sorry.
that it's when I saw, excuse me, I'm going to say this. the school when my son was in the pre-K program, and I saw that there were a lot of other children that were lacking services because their parents
Mm-hmm.
either didn't know or were afraid. And now let me tell you, it was a private school where Ivy League, or where they, paying top dollars. The kids were dressed all and da 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 da, but they were suffering. I don't even get that either, but that's another conversation for another time.
You do get it. It's the money.
It's the money.
You
Yeah,
get it. People don't
yeah.
care.
They don't
They
care. It was
want
all
money.
about the prestige. And I'm like, hold on, sis.
They
You
want
doing
money.
all that. Little Twinkie can't talk. Or little
Mhm,
Twinkie needs services. So
Yeah.
at the time, when I was advocating, because I'm calling up the heads, because now the principal is saying they're not getting the OTs and the services that they need, but they need it in the school. Being the mom that I was at that point, I said, I got to keep going. I
Right.
remember one of the special education teacher coming up to me. He said, Miss Edwards, I know that this is a lot for you, but by you advocating and reaching out to get the services that your son need, you were able to open up opportunities for about 6 other students that did not get OT,
That's it, God.
speech therapy. I said,
In
what?
place.
And
In place and on assignment.
on
She
a
knew her assignment. As they
every
say.
girl, I was
Yeah.
like, what you said, Mr. Ma? He said there were other students
I love it.
suffering.
I love it.
And I said, God, well, this is bigger than me.
Yeah. That's
And
the
then,
one.
and then
That's
I
the
kept
one.
encountering people that no conversation. I'm just at the right place at the right time.
He will put
And
you in place.
and when he began to say, daughter, I have need of thee,
Ooh, I felt that.
I said,
Yes,
God,
God.
I said, wait, hold up. What you mean?
Come on
He
in
said,
here.
I said, what you saying? He said, you thought I took you through all this for that? No,
Come
no,
on
no.
in here.
Ministry locked up in what I have given to you.
Yes.
And I said, okay, God. And that's how you know you're walking in purpose, because it's the alignment.
Alignment. Say that word one more time. I keep hearing it.
The
Come on,
alignment,
Jesus.
the alignment,
Alignment.
the alignment.
That's the one.
And this not what I planned to do, because
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you know that. And this is why we have to thank God for the children that He has blessed us with. Because
Yeah.
they're beyond gifts. You hear me?
Yeah.
That little boy that I have unlocked every gift that I've
Mhm.
had in me, creativity and
Say
everything.
it. Love it.
Everything.
Love it.
So I say this to say that when you walk and you just tap into the things of God, even when you don't understand,
Even when you
it's gonna
don't understand.
we
Say
gotta learn,
that one, Melissa.
when you don't understand, we gotta learn to trust Him where we can't trace Him.
Yeah.
But because He says the footsteps of a good man are ordered by the
Ordered
Lord,
by the
so He
Lord.
ain't gonna send you the wrong direction. Girl, I was like,
Help
oh,
somebody. Help somebody tonight.
we gonna get it today
Help
together.
somebody tonight. Because that was it right there.
Girl, if somebody
Absolutely.
told me I would be here sitting talking to you and we're having a discussion today, I'd be saying, you lying.
You know
Because
the
I was
lies
supposed
you
to,
tell.
you lying. I was supposed to be in somebody's hospital, being a whole nurse,
Come
and
on in here.
to somebody, and God said, I'm shifting this because I have need of you to service my people as a midwife in a different way, but not that way.
Yes. Come on in here. Oh, please tap into that. Because me and you did discuss that on a phone call. Help them to understand, you are educated. This is what the goal was. This is what you knew you was gonna be doing, and now you are here.
Listen, I'm still in awe. As I mentioned, when I got pregnant with my son, God began to give me dreams and visions and stuff. I'm like, God, hold on, what's going on here? But what's happening? I was going to school to be a nurse, did all the pre-clinicals, did all the ologies and all the ologies you could think of. I was like, yeah, I'm going to nursing school. All of a sudden, God said, record scratch. That's not what you're going to do. I began to see fabrics, threads, fashion, this, that. At the time, my husband, he was like, girl, what's going on with you? I was like, I don't know. I said, I need something. I need a sewing machine. He said, what? He said, okay, I'll get it for you. At that time, I didn't know that God was preparing me to be a fashion designer. I did not know. But I was pregnant with my prince, with the prophet, with the purpose.
Yeah, with the purpose.
Because God had a purpose. And if it wasn't for that prophet, that journey, that son of mine, that gift, that blessing, I wouldn't be where I am today, even in the businesses that I have.
So tell them about the businesses that you have now connected to, going from being pregnant, being in school, thinking you're going to be a nurse, and now you're doing what you're doing now.
Okay. Having my son, I started doing fashion designing. I learned to sew at home. Gift came from the Lord. Didn't go to school for this.
Come on.
I'm telling you, God will teach you. The Holy Spirit will teach you. Ended up going to FIT because I said, God, He told me to go. I was telling people I was going to FIT before I even know I was going to go there. Because God said, no. Enrolled in Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. I went for business because I wanted to know if I'm going to get into any kind of industry, I need to know the business of it. So I did
Right.
entrepreneurship in business and fashion.
Mhm.
Only did that for like 2 years and relocated to New Jersey.
Mhm.
God had me sewing, making dresses, designing prom dresses, clothes, doing all that. I said, God, what? And I always saw myself doing fashion shows. I said, I'm going to do these shows. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to incorporate my special needs babies in there.
Come on.
Doing fundraisers for my church, the kids, everything. We were doing fundraisers, fashion shows, and all that. Moving forward, got to New Jersey. God said, I still got work for you. I started working as a fashion merchandising teacher in a high school here in New Jersey, accommodating children that the high school students that they say have IEPs, but they're geniuses.
Come on in here.
I'm in the classroom.
Setting you up.
Listen, a whole setup. You hear me?
Mm.
We teaching.
Love it.
Curriculum. We're doing all that. God got me in here. And I said, God, wait, what? And it don't end it. And then here he goes. He said, well, take it to another level. I have my head wrap business, Heavenly Head Wraps. I make head wraps.
Love the name. Love the name.
And it came from God.
Came from God. Make sure I'm going to have everything in the description, you guys, for her links and everything. She's amazing. Go ahead.
It's God. It's all God.
It's God.
But it's his will, because see, if I had aborted the assignment.
Come on.
And I took, man, people.
Come on in here.
We had aborted the assignment. It was tough.
Don't abort the assignment, people. Don't abort the assignment. Woo! Get out his way.
The world would think, a lot of people say, well, that's a hindrance. My son is the greatest blessing. He has taught me so much patience. When I say patience, because I ain't had much. But he taught me patience on another level, love on another level, endurance on another level, strength
People
on another
would say that
level.
to me all the time. They're like, oh, you have so much patience. I'm like, I have to. Because I will lose it. I have to learn this. I have to learn him. We have to learn each other. I have to learn God.
Yes.
So with that, you have to bring it on down and have the patience to be open to hear from him. Whoa.
And then,
go ahead, Melissa.
And then, you know, when you're dealing with the outsiders, you know, and the opposition and the doubtful Thomases, but it's okay. They're necessary for
and the naysayers.
And the naysayers. And the ones that, what's wrong with her kid? What's wrong with that little boy? Why he always on the floor?
Yep.
Why he don't want no clothes on? Why he
Melissa, yes, I know. Yeah. I know.
What's wrong with him? Why?
Looking crazy. Girl, get your word.
Get your
praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Pay attention to church.
Amen. But I'll tell you this little but God. And in my process, God has taught me prayer on another level. That's one of the greatest things that I birthed through this process and on this journey, to learn how to pray and how to pray strategically through the process for my son.
Right.
And it wasn't easy at all, because I was ready to, a lot of times I'm like, God, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this whole thing away. I don't know what's going on. I just let me and my kid and my husband and family, let's just go somewhere and throw everybody away. He said, no, you don't, because I have purpose.
Yeah.
And it was in the prayer. In the prayer, when I'll have my journals, I got books all over the place. It will wake me up, and I'm writing down this prayer, and I'm writing this down, because I spend a lot of times in intercessory prayer with their mothers in the church. When I'm ready to go, they're like, girl, come on back in here.
I gotta go to the one who know.
I
gotta go to the one who can get in his face.
And,
yes.
And they said, you won't give up. And I'm like, mother, but I'm ready to talk. She said,
Thank you for the mothers.
The mothers, the elders.
The elders.
And the mother said, no, girl, you don't give up. You got to trust God.
The ones that love on you and not judge.
And not judge you. My God. Where are they today? But that's a whole nother subject.
Come on in here.
But God. And I said, God, you got to help me, because this is a lot for me. And he began to give me these prayers. And he began to just minister to me. And I said, okay, God, what you saying? And he would begin to write them down. And I write them down.
Write it down and make it plain, honey.
Make it plain. And I'm writing, and I got books and all that. And one day he said, okay, I need you to make it into a book. I said, what?
Love it.
I said, what you mean?
The setup.
It's a whole setup.
It is.
It's a whole setup.
I wish people would catch that. Catch it. It's a setup.
I said, what you mean? He said,
but the obedience.
Yes.
The obedience.
It's in the obedience. I said, God, what you mean? He said, what you think? I made you go through all that for everything? He said, I need you to begin to write, like the scribe. Write it.
Mhm.
I've never been. I don't have the story to say. When I was like 2 years old, y'all, I had a book and a pen. I always want to be a writer. No, no, that's not my story. I'm
But
sorry.
dang it.
It, was, it wasn't my
Love
story,
it, love it, love it, love
but
it.
it was a part of God's plan.
Yes.
So I said, okay, God, I begin to write. And you know when God got something for you to do and you be acting like you don't want to listen. You talk about I'm gonna do it later. And you feel
Mhm.
the pressure, the Holy Spirit keep tugging you because you're uncomfortable
Again.
until the assignment is completed.
Yes, ma'am.
I said, God, okay, so I went through
Ooh, who
all
she talking to?
that. Girl, you already know. You already know.
Mm-mm-mm.
Because when you told me your story, I said, hold on.
You in somebody business for sure.
Oh, somebody business. I said, God, wait, what? And I began to write.
Mhm.
I said the prayers. I mean, the nights I was crying because you got to go through the process of not understanding some of the
Yeah.
diagnoses, even IEP meetings. There's times when I left there like I felt dumb. I felt
Yeah.
like I was the worst. My child was the worst child on earth because the IEP, the individual education plan. I remember
Right.
that's what it is. That they're telling you, you know, it's new language, and you got like
Yeah.
15 pages of stuff they're telling you that your child can't do.
Oh yeah. I remember
Yeah.
the first this well, not the first one, but this one
Mm-hmm.
sticks out the most. I remember he was in a new school. I
Mm-hmm.
loved his teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but the energy with like the principal was off to me.
Mm.
I didn't care for his energy. He kept trying to give me, oh, well, he could take medicine. He kept shoving medication. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah. Mhm.
I'm like, God didn't speak that to me though. But no.
Okay.
You know, he kept hitting with, oh, maybe if you give him this, then he'll be calm. Maybe if you give,
Mhm.
and I'm like, yeah, no, God didn't tell me that. So I don't want to deal with you.
Right.
So where's the other people? I said, I need everybody who's connected to my child to be in this room on this day.
Yes.
So when I set the meeting up and I said, show me everything he's been doing.
Yes.
And I'll never forget it. The pages were just red.
Mhm.
All these marks showing
Mhm.
this will happen. This is what happened. This will happen. It was just red, red, red.
Mhm.
And I got emotional. I
Yes.
said, okay, now clearly these things aren't working. So we need to do something different
Yes.
because I can't come back in this meeting and it be red like that. That's
Okay.
not going to work.
Okay.
So the red spoke to me. The red
Uh-huh.
spoke to me. And I
Mhm.
said, okay, so what do you have going on? And I was
Mhm.
like, I was in it like this, ping ponging. I said, okay, so that's not working. So what
Mhm.
can we do now? Okay, well, that seems like it's working. So
Mhm.
what should I implement at home? And so we're ping ponging ideas like this, like this, like this. And the principal
Mhm.
was just watching. And he like this, because I don't took over the meeting now. I don't even
Right.
want to deal with
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
energy is wrong.
Yes, it's
You're
wrong.
not really for my son. You just want to
Right.
drug him. And
That's
that's not
right.
what God spoke. So
And that's
moving
what he
right
said.
along.
Right.
So we're just ping ponging ideas, and they're like, oh, you know, he does this and he does amazing with this, Miss Olsen.
Mhm.
You know, let's do
Mhm.
this. And if
Mhm.
you do this, you know, you can do this at home too. And
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
send you this later on. And
Uh-huh.
girl, the next time I came, we were like high fiving. We like, look at this.
Yes.
It's less red. I'm like, yeah. And
Yes.
that's the energy we had to keep because it was about the child. It
Not your hidden agenda, but the child.
was about the kid. Him being progressive, not
Yes.
you making sure this person getting money for medication. This person,
Right.
none
Right.
of that. We
Right.
want him to be a productive person in society. That's the
Yes.
goal.
Yes.
Do you understand
Yes.
what I'm saying? So
Yes.
thank you for being an advocate because
Yes.
there were mothers who probably went in the meetings like we did and they
Yes.
were just destroyed.
Destroyed.
They
I'm
saw
telling you.
red and was like, my kid ain't gonna be okay. And they
That's
left
right.
feeling that way.
Because there's the
So
power
thank
of
you for
words.
being obedient. Yeah.
Oh, to God be the glory.
Mhm.
This is
Thank
so
you for being
serious.
obedient.
It's so serious. It's only
Hmm.
him. It
Hmm.
is so serious
Yeah,
because you have mothers that are suffering right now. And
absolutely.
they're afraid to even, they don't even know what to do. Once they see this
Nope.
IP, a lot of them, they're afraid to go in another meeting
That's
because
it.
it's so intimidating when you got all these people with
Yes.
titles and you got you little Timmy and little Twinkie, and you're like, my baby, what do you mean
Yep.
there's no hope for my child?
Yep. It's the
You know,
truth.
and then, you know, on the IEP plans, you know, they have these goals and benchmarks that we want them to reach and attain. You know, and that's the protocol. They have to write that, but half of them
Right.
don't even think that your child has the ability to
No.
do it. So let's
Nope.
just put that there. And it's
Yeah.
all about energy and what you, the energy that you go forth with, and what
Absolutely.
you approach certain things with. So you really think my baby gonna make it?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Or you just trying to get that check?
Or
Okay.
you just trying to get past this meeting because you're
Yeah.
supposed to say later on that you did 5 meetings today and
Okay.
you met with this parent today and you met with this
Right.
and this is just curriculum is just the goal for the day.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can and you know, like we said, you know, and having discernment is very important. You have to be in tune. Having discernment is so important because, like I said, off the bat, I'm like, this principal don't care about my son.
Yeah.
Like he don't care. And what was amazing about it, the next year he was not there.
There you go.
Hello.
And this,
So the prayers, okay, when you telling God, God, please, have my son encounter teachers that actually love, that can see his passion, that can see, his growth, that can see his gifts,
yes,
and has no problem telling me, he's amazing at this, let's
yes,
work towards that, but this
yes,
part we could work on.
yes,
You have to be praying about these things. You have to
yes.
be intentional in your prayers about your child, and not just autistic children. This is for
No,
whoever. This is for
children.
whomever. Because I promise you, after I wrote my book, so many people who did not have autistic children reach out to me thanking me, and they're like, "The prayers in your book, I've been praying through my house. I'm walking through my house saying this, and things have been moving around in my home. So this is not just for you if you have an autistic child.
No,
Send this live to someone who needs to be encouraged,
yes,
and who also needs to be encouraged, understanding maybe the certain thing that the field that they're in, God is pulling them to do something else. Be obedient because he got you. If
got
Melissa would have sat there and said, I'm gonna be a nurse because everybody in my family's a nurse, she would not be, those 6 people wouldn't have gotten what they needed that day.
you. Listen,
Amen.
amen. We have
Be
to.
clear.
Oh my
Be
God.
obedient in the season. If you know your child, you know what God is speaking to you concerning, you as a parent, your mental state as a parent, because you have to have some type of outlet. This why Jesus. I don't know what people doing who don't know God. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
But guess what?
I
You
do
know,
not know.
the good thing about that, the ones that
That
don't,
must not be okay.
it's okay. But guess what? This is why God has us.
Right.
Because see, sometimes the closest thing to God or church they gonna know is through us. Because
Yes.
they need the real stuff, and this is the real deal.
Yeah. This is
They
real.
don't need no sugar coated,
This
all
is
that
real.
blah 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 blah
Listen,
whatever.
it's a hot mic, honey. This is
It's a hot
real.
mic.
This
This
is
is the
real.
real stuff. Because this
That's
is what
real.
people need. We
Yep.
need to produce. When Christ came on, when God came, He said, "Let there be," and it
Let
was.
there be.
So things were
Mhm.
being established. So
And
we're
he
always
spoke
moving.
it.
He
He
spoke it.
spoke it. Please be clear. This we got to speak. Oh, Jesus.
Speak it.
You have to speak life into your children. You have to speak life into yourself.
My
Because
God.
be clear, and I don't know why God taking me this
Go
way.
ahead, girl.
We keep feeling like we have to be strong. We have to be this. We have to be that. But what's in you comes out of you. And that's why a lot of times you're frustrated. You're
Yes.
frustrated.
Mhm.
Give it to God.
Listen.
Speak those things as though
Mhm.
they are.
Yes.
Even when you don't see it, you have to see it before you see it. I had to know that my
Mhm.
son was going to be okay when
Mhm.
he was small. I had to know he would be talking.
Yes.
He would be reading. I had to
Yes.
know these things. So I had
Yes.
to do the work towards these goals. That's
Yes.
what you have to do
Yes.
in life, period. Even
Yes.
for yourself.
Yes.
You go through something traumatic. You go through grieving. You lost someone close to you. You have to be
Mhm.
saying to yourself, I'm going to be okay. Holy
Yes.
Spirit, bring me comfort. Today
Help.
wasn't a good day, but I'm going to be okay. It's going to be better
Yes.
tomorrow. You need to be
Yes.
speaking those affirmations over yourself and over your
Yes.
children so you
Yes.
can see that thing. You can start to see the fruits of it.
Yes. Yes.
But God spoke the world into existence. Words have power.
Power. And that's what He taught
Amen.
me.
Go ahead,
And
Melissa.
that's what He taught me. No, girl, you listen. We're gonna have a Holy Ghost party up in here.
Jesus.
That's how it is. We glorify the King at any time, any
Woo.
place. And
Mhm.
it's important, the power, as you said, there's power in words. And He
Mhm.
began to teach me about affirmations and
Yeah.
even His IEP. When I went to the IEP meetings and they would give me that package,
Mhm.
the Lord said, "You take that and you lay
And
hands
you lay hands,
over
honey.
that,
That's the
and you
one.
agree every benchmark, every goal
Mhm.
that was set there for him to have, like, but on the IEP plan, they will say, we expect Jordan to be able to do such and such by
Bye. Yep.
June
Yep.
or the next quarter."
Mhm.
You know
Yep.
what Melly Mel was? She got the olive oil,
Hello.
consecrated in the name of Jesus.
In the name of
And I
Jesus.
decree that my son is
That's
this.
it.
Not will be, but it's already done.
It's already done. That's
And I'm
it.
prophesying over his IEPs, and I'm speaking
That's it.
specifically
Yep.
because God taught me
Thank
how
you.
to specify in my prayer.
Thank you for
So
saying specific.
when it came to his
Mm.
diagnosis, and when he had his therapies, and they said, "Well, this is the diagnosis," I said, "Okay. Well, I'm gonna find that," and I'm googling the
I
part of
know
the
that's.
brain that deals with speech and language impairment, and I'm
Mhm.
like, to the frontal lobe, to the
Mhm.
occipital lobe, to the
Mhm.
parts of the brain that connects
Yes.
to that part of, and I ain't playing.
That's it. That's it.
And God
Travailing for your child,
told
travailing for yourself,
me,
commanding these things in your home, connected to your children, and even allowing them to see, the power of prayer.
oh,
Because now my son is 20 years old.
mhm,
He gonna be in prayer line. Listen, at 9 o'clock, he
mhm,
gonna be the first one on prayer line.
mhm,
When it's time, we're home and I'm off, and I'm like, at such and such time, we're gonna be praying together.
mhm,
He's in place
mhm.
because it's a normalcy. So if
Yes.
you continue to show your children how important God is, they'll
Transparent.
accept how important God is. They will literally say with their own mouths,
Yes.
because of God,
Yes.
I used to, I remember not being able to talk well, but now I can speak,
Listen.
because of God, I remember when people used to look at me like I was a weirdo, and now I help this person because of God. I prayed over this kid, and he didn't even know I knew how to pray, mommy, because he thought I was just a weirdo. And I was
Oh,
like, no,
weirdo.
you trust God. Do you understand what I'm saying?
God.
You have a,
This is how he gets the glory through our stories. It ain't nothing about us. We just available.
you
But if
just,
we make ourselves available, people will know the God that we serve because they want to know who's that God.
yeah,
But
we're the
it's not
vessels.
always about what they need to see. They need
Hmm.
to see. They need faith comes back. They gotta see. They want to hear,
Yeah,
but they want to see too.
ear gates. Yes, honey.
They want to see
Mm,
some things. Like, hold on, you talk about this guy. Hold up, what you mean?
right.
But I want to see him work because a lot of them knew my son when he wasn't speaking. Now he's a social butterfly.
I'm telling
He,
you.
my
Listen.
everybody be like, he calls grandma, yeah, dad. Mom, you doing too much right now. You just need to chill. He just be going, we be having it out. And I'm like, look at this little boy that they told
Listen.
me.
Come on in here, Melissa.
And I want to say this to moms, and I want to
Mhm.
encourage when even if you don't even know who God is on a
Mhm.
certain level, but they said that inkling, or when you're right,
Mhm.
as a mommy, that mommy instinct tells you to
Mhm.
get up and move. You
Come
move.
on, move.
His dad and I made a decision to leave New York.
Mhm.
When we left before, God said we needed we needed to move because his development was hindered.
Mhm.
Because in New York, it's very overpopulated. We were going against,
Yes.
I'm tired of going to principals in this. It's just a system, and some things you just can't fight no more.
Right.
It's
Come
not being
on.
a punk, it's just wisdom.
Yeah,
God said,
absolutely.
I got to get up and get out of New York and go to New Jersey.
Mhm.
Everybody probably like, wait, what? Matter of fact, a lot of people didn't know. And when we got here, God said, this is where his development, this is where he's going to prosper because there's services available
Next
for one,
level.
and there's the environment. So we end up
Mhm.
in the suburbs where he got a backyard, so he could run around if
Come
he was
on.
underwear, because kids, he don't like clothes, he don't like none of that. So he gets a backyard to run
Mhm.
around. He's in an environment that's going to help not just his physical development, his psychological, mental,
Right.
emotional, and spiritual development. So
Love
we
it.
have to heed to God's will, and that's the parent that says, "I'm not going to be selfish.
Right.
I'm going to be selfless." Now, I'm not saying that everybody has that ability to get up and go to the suburbs,
Right.
but wherever God tells you or what he tells you to do, get out of self, because the children are investment and our future.
Right.
God,
Absolutely.
he told us to go. We left.
Oh, I love this.
Yes.
I love
And
this. I
I'll
love
tell
this.
you,
I love this.
less than a year, this boy blossomed. I mean, he's in the band. He's playing the trombone,
Woo!
piano. He's in the choir. He's in the marching band. And I'm
Love
like,
it.
this the little boy they said they wasn't gonna do
Come
what?
on in here.
Because our God said, when God say something, God
Mhm.
ain't never
He
lied.
can't fail, honey. He's not a God that he shall lie, and he cannot fail. So it shall manifest. Woo! Okay. Woo! All right. Next
Okay.
question. What we got?
Yeah, next.
Woo! Because I listen. You already know the vibes, honey. I could do this all day. I could talk about how the goodness of God all day. I mean,
Jesus.
all day. But tell
Mm-hmm.
us about. Okay, so you were supposed to be an RN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Obedience. You said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, God done told me to go get me a sewing machine and to start sewing stuff.
Yes,
So now now you're connected to the kids. You're making clothing and things of that nature. Now you
mm-hmm.
started this business called Heavenly Head Wraps,
Mm-hmm.
and how has that been navigating? Being mom and being a business owner. How has that been?
Oh my God, it
Because
is
I'm one of them.
crazy.
I'm one of them too,
Yeah,
child.
I know, girl. I
Mm.
know. It's been
Help
crazy.
the people. Help the people.
It's crazy, but God is so amazing and he's so
Mhm.
just strategic. It's not
Mhm.
easy because it takes discipline. And we know that as business
Yeah.
owners, everybody wants entrepreneur, ain't nothing wrong with that, but you gotta have discipline. Because it was
Yes.
nice. I couldn't sleep. I was going to cook for Cocoa Puffs. I'm like, change a business plan. What do I do next?
Mhm.
I'm like, Dad,
Mhm.
when we were together, I'm like, Dad,
What
what
we
we got?
got? What we got? What we doing?
He's like, I don't know, girl, what you want to do? Take the garage, turn into a business? Or what we going to do?
Yeah, that's a
And you
lot.
just have to be ready. But
Right.
God is so amazing. God is so amazing that in the midst of it all, even in the midst of a pandemic, is when I
Come
broke
on.
into the business,
The
the biggest. I've been
blessings.
doing my business for the longest, but when it took off,
Come
was in the
on.
pandemic. You hear
Help
me?
somebody. Yes, I hear you. I know.
In
I
the midst
know.
of a pandemic,
Come on.
when everybody didn't have
The
face masks.
faithful
You hear
ones.
me?
The faithful.
Let me tell you something. God said he'll take care of his children. I got to let somebody know this. Mommies, don't give up. I don't care if you got to go to Family Dollar and you got a gift. You buy your little stuff until God can upgrade you.
Yeah.
You hear me?
That's
I wasn't going to Joann's Fabric and all that when I started. I started making little headbands and tutus for little girls and all that. That's what I started doing. With
you will make room for your gifts.
You hear me? But I had to humble myself. In the midst of a pandemic, I heard God said, go get that business, that website done. Because you already had the business from like 10 years ago. Because I had a big chop, went natural, did all that, had a ball head.
He said, come on and step it up.
Step it up. I said, in the midst of pandemic? He said, yeah. So when I was working at the high school, like I said, and the pandemic hit, everybody had to go home.
Right.
I said, okay, God. He said, you get that website done ASAP. I said, wait, what?
They got to find your stuff. Hello.
When nobody had face masks, because they ran out of Joann's Fabric, didn't even have the elastics and stuff for it. And I had fabrics because I always had fabrics.
Right.
God said, you remember them elastics that you had in your bin? I had people calling me.
Come on.
Elastics, you hear me? That I had sitting in bins because God was preparing me for a time such as this.
That's it. Before the obedience.
Before the pandemic hit, God said to me, you're not going back to a 9 to 5. I said, what you talk about?
Come on.
He said, after this. I said, what you mean, God? And look at me with my little presumptuous quick step. I went to go interview for a college. I got hired that day right before the pandemic. And I didn't go back because God said, I told you that
He said, stop playing with me.
Stop playing with me. I can't. He said, I allow you to go on the interview because you got the qualify. But I ain't tell you that was what it's supposed to be.
Right. Come on and help somebody.
During the pandemic, I had organizations. I'm making for domestic violence. I'm doing this for this organization. They're calling me. We need this amount of that. I have never been without during this pandemic.
Say it.
Because the God that we serve, he said he will provide for his children.
That's the one.
And guess what? The key to it, because that little boy right there, that gift that he has given me, I was like Hannah. I said, just like Hannah.
That's it.
God, if you bless my womb,
that's the one.
With that profit, I'll give him right back to you.
I'll give him back to you. Ooh, I felt that thing. So now we got Heavenly Head Wraps. And when did you start the organization for Extraordinary? Tell us when you started, and yeah, I'll get into that.
So Extraordinary Moms all started while I was pregnant. I used to do little blogs on, I think Google's had this blog page back in 2015. And I would do a little blog. I met a woman, she's an actress right now, beautiful black actress. I'll never forget. I was in Burlington Coat Factory in Brooklyn. And you know us ladies, I'm in the lingerie section. We start to talk about kids. And she has an autistic son, but he was about 18 at the time. And she said, Mommy, start blogging. She said, that was back in 20.
So she planted the seed.
The seed.
Divine connections in the daggone Burlington
lingerie department.
Come on.
He said, start blogging. I said, okay. She said, I don't care what you do. Farmer group, Google, do whatever. And I said, okay. Finally, I went on Facebook in 2015 and formed a group, Extraordinary Moms, because God gave me the name. It takes an extraordinary mom to raise an extraordinary child.
Love it.
Genius. I said, okay, God. Did it on Facebook. Then I did a private group. I started adding all mommies that I knew or didn't know, and they started coming. So we have a group, mommies from different states, from California, from here, and we all connect. And we all connected till we got this group together. So I have a regular like page, but I also have a private group because some of our stuff is sensitive. So we want to keep it in our little group. Right. And we will celebrate our babies when they're benchmarks, birthdays, whatever. We used to do Saturdays for the girls sipping wine, and we're going to talk about what we're doing, and we do all that.
I love it.
That's how it came about. And then I did the Instagram page. And then I began to, other mommies are coming, and we just come together, and that's how that formed. So it's an LLC.
Awesome.
And a non-for-profit is on its way.
All right.
Because there's things in the making, but I got to just keep it until God is ready to manifest.
Yeah.
And then came the book.
Come on and get into the book, honey.
So then he told me, as I prayed, he said, okay, now, daughter, I need you to write it. I need you to write it and make it into a prayer journal.
Love that.
What?
I saw that prayer journal. I saw. Hi.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Let me back it on up. Because they got
all in the inbox.
Yes, let me back it on up how God connected us.
Man.
I'm chilling in here.
Awesome.
Wrote the journal a year or so ago, but I didn't like the cover. So I get it redone. I got it done and I did it myself. God showed me what to do. I
Awesome.
said, God, because I don't know what to do. He said, hold on, let me teach you.
Yes, I got you, boo.
Yeah, got it done. Got it done over. Got it on Kindle. Then I did it over on and got it on It's available on Amazon. Then
Mhm.
recently got it on Barnes and Noble, and it's
Mhm.
also on my website. I
Love
went
it.
on the authors Facebook for Black authors, and that's when
Mhm.
God said, put it up there. You
Put it up
market
there.
it some more. And then there you came, and we connected.
Yep. Just
God
like
said, I
that.
need you to do this. He said, make it into a prayer journal. Every prayer that you've had while you were going through the process with that little man, Jordan, I need you to put that in a journal because there's mothers that need.
Yes. Yes.
He
And
said,
she said, okay.
in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst
And
of a pandemic,
yes. Love
copyright
it.
and everything,
Mhm.
trademark, get your stuff covered, y'all, because I don't play.
Help somebody with that.
Copyright, it's the greatest investment. And one
Yes,
thing
it
I can
is.
thank my son's father for that because he taught me that.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't remember nothing else he taught me, he said, girl, make sure you trademark, copyright,
That's a fact.
LLC, all that.
Cover yourself. People live every day to scam and steal your stuff. They will
Yes, sir.
check every day. Oh, what's the name? Let me go see what's. Oh,
Yeah,
that ain't theirs. Let me
yeah.
take it. I
Register.
promise you.
Mhm,
Please, sir. Please, and it's
mhm.
not expensive.
No,
Please
it's worth
invest
it.
in yourself. Cover
Mhm,
yourself.
mhm.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, ma'am.
'Cause that is
Yeah.
real.
And that's what he told me to do. And I said,
Yeah.
God, I'm going to do it. I didn't even know how to do it. I said, God, I don't know what I'm doing. He said, just like everything else you ain't know, I'll teach you.
Yup. Mm, that's it.
And there it
I love
comes.
it.
10 powerful prayer for special needs mom. And it's not just a special needs mommies, but mommies with
Right.
children. And I did
Yes.
it because guess what? Us as mom, we need so much support.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy for special needs mommies,
Mm-hmm.
man. It's
Yeah.
not easy at all.
No.
At all. We need to be told, like, girl, you can do this. You know how
Yes.
important how that make you feel like, girl, you got
Mhm.
this, girl. What's up? You all that in
Mhm.
the bag of chips. What you talk about? You bought
Yes.
what? No. Come on. We can do
Absolutely.
this.
We got this.
We got
We
this.
got this. And I got you.
Yes.
That's what we need to hear. I got you.
For real
I
though.
got you. I
Yeah.
get you and I
Yeah.
got you. You
Right. The
know?
real stuff. Not no, yeah,
Yeah.
girl, because you know.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, I got you.
You
I
got me.
got you. I ain't got to say a word. If you want to cry, go ahead and cry. I'm listening.
Listen.
That's it.
And it's somebody that understands your language, that understands without
Mhm.
me saying anything, you understand. If I call
Mhm.
you and you like, girl, them kids is jumping on the truck and they doing stuff, I got you. That's
Yeah.
what we do in our mommy's group. When we used to do our Saturdays, sipping whatever, the kids in the background, one of them is doing this. I said, girl, you know we got these kids.
Exactly.
And we understand that little Twinkie might run across the screen with his little underwear's on or
Right.
off and do all kind of acrobatic stunts, but it's okay. He might be over
Exactly.
there repeating something over and over and repeating
Yep.
his favorite cartoons over and over because we know
Yep.
this is our children and I'm
Yep.
okay.
We gonna get nervous if it get too quiet. So it's okay. We see him flip past. It's all
Listen,
good.
it's okay because we know this is our babies, it's our community.
Yes.
So you ain't got to tell
Absolutely.
me sorry if Twinkie
Hmm.
throwing something or Twinkie doing something that is what they would call is not normal, but we know
Right.
these are
Right.
geniuses. Like we know.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So what do you say, to the parent, who's in a place where they're like, I feel like no one's understanding me.
Mhm.
I don't even know I want to do this anymore. Like I'm looking at adopted papers. Like I'm looking at this. Like I don't know if I can do this. Like what do you say to that parent who felt like I'm listening to God, but I don't think He hears what I'm asking Him for. Like what do you say to that parent?
Mm. Well, listen, we've all been there, and I've been there too. So I
I
can't even
have.
get mad at that at all. A couple of
I have.
times.
Mhm.
But what I would say is, remember the gift. I mean, our children, you know, remember before you had this child, how excited you were,
Mhm.
and you was like, God, yes. I don't know. A lot of people can't, women are, infertility, whatever it may be, the conditions, whatever, and
Mhm.
you God bless you with this bundle of joy. That
Mhm.
same joy and joy you had before,
Mhm.
think about those good things. Think
Yeah.
about the promises of the Lord. I know sometimes it's hard to say, I hear God. It's not easy. You can hear God, but then your emotions, what you're feeling in the
Oh yeah.
time, adding up. But I'll say, don't you ever give up on that child.
Yeah.
God has purpose. There's a reason why God has blessed you with that gift.
Mhm.
We're not extraordinary for nothing.
Right.
The world calls weird. God said He made us a peculiar people.
That's it.
But we're not supposed to fit
A
in.
royal priesthood. We're not. We're not.
We've been boring.
We're not.
We got to be different.
We are different.
That's your gift.
Absolutely.
That's your
Mhm.
blessing. That's your little Einstein or even greater. Look at all
Mhm.
these individuals through history that they said had certain needs, but how intelligent and how brilliant
Yeah.
they are. So when you
Mhm.
feel like you want to second guess the process, go back and
Mhm.
still go back to God. Even in the midst of you, like when I get upset, I'm real with God. I'm like, God, at this point,
Like, what's this?
I don't
What
know.
is this? I don't say what is this a bunch
Yeah,
of times.
what's up? What's up?
God, what is this
What
now?
is
What
this?
is this? What is this?
Yeah, but even in the what in this, the Bible says in all things to acknowledge me.
Acknowledge
So if it's the
me.
good, the bad, the anger, whatever, let
Mhm.
daddy know what's up. Because he
That's the
already
one.
know. But the
Yeah,
more you acknowledge him, even in the midst of your weaknesses, the strength is coming because he's making provision as you acknowledge him.
that's
So
it.
even when you like, God, I don't think I could do this, because you uttered God,
He
the help
inclined
is
his
on the
ear.
way.
He
The
said,
help
was
is
that
on
my
the way.
daughter?
Listen,
He said, was that my daughter
is that
calling
my
me?
daughter?
Hold on.
Because the angels,
It's the
he said
facts.
he'll send the angels. So
Hmm.
you can't give up, mommy. There's no
Come
giving up in
on.
you. Even daddy, there's no giving up in you.
That's it.
You're your child's best role model, and they're looking and
Hmm.
they're watching you. So when you give up, that they lose hope. So when you
Right.
lose hope, mommy, remember that child is watching you, and you're the only thing that they have because the world doesn't understand them like mommy does.
Yes.
If mommy gives up on me,
Hmm.
I have no future.
Right. Woo! That was good. Now, are you big on therapy?
Of
What
course,
is your take on therapy?
absolutely, because you know why? God gives us wisdom, and this is why
Right.
God created doctors and physicians. So
Hmm.
I'm an advocate, yes, because God told me that in the midst of his therapies is how I'm healing him because he has to go
Right.
through that process. We
Right.
have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. So yes, I definitely believe in therapies because it helps their development. That's how
Right.
my son was able to develop even speech. He had some amazing speech therapists.
Yeah, we had
Even
some great ones too.
yes,
Shout out to the speech therapist.
best.
I had started making shirts for them because I'm like,
Yes,
I honestly, because it wasn't my world. It's
yes,
not your world until it becomes your world. So
yes,
I'm like, the occupational therapist. I'm like, there's so many different titles and
yes.
things I didn't know about until my son was,
Me too.
evaluated. And I'm like, yo, they're amazing. Like,
Amazing. I love them
I
all.
hope people understand how vital they are. Like,
Listen,
they are amazing. They are amazing.
amazing. I am
Hmm.
all for. I'm
Hmm.
all for the therapies because even though I had some not so great experiences, but there's
Hmm.
some great ones. And
Yeah.
I loved all my son's therapists, all
Yeah,
of
me
them.
too. Me
His
too. Hmm.
OTs, his speech therapists, his the interact. Listen, at the end of the day, listen, they're all that. So they're the ones that help us. That's where the team comes in. It takes a
That's the
village.
team.
That's the whole
Absolutely.
team right there. As long as
Absolutely.
we're in alignment,
Hmm.
and they're like, and I'm open to say when they say, "Mommy, he needs to do such and such." That's your area, honey. So I'm not gonna
Hmm.
argue with you. You teach
Hmm.
me, I teach you. You teach me, I teach you how to, and we work this thing together.
Iron sharpens iron for
And
sure. Because it's all about
exactly,
him. Hmm.
yes. So at the end of the day, it's about his growth and development, and
Hmm.
it's very important. Like my best friend, she's an educator.
Hmm.
She does early intervention for other children. So she teaches. He has the best of both all worlds because that's his godmother. And
Love
when
it.
I can't take it no more, I'll be like, God, mom, educator,
Hmm.
I need you to come to
He
the
gives
rescue.
us who you need. He
Yes.
gives us who we need.
And she knows how to
Love
deal
it.
with him. Yes.
Hmm. So
Mhm,
now, what about like counseling therapy for
mhm.
like the parents?
It's important.
Because everybody doesn't have an outlet. You know.
Yes. I believe it's important. Counseling
Hmm.
therapy is it's so needed.
Yeah.
It is so needed. I am not against it. I'm so
Hmm.
for it because I had to get me some counseling too.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's so imperative that we understand that we're humans and how the brain functions and how the body functions. This is why I
We're
like
not
psychology.
robots.
We're
We
not
have
robots. We're
feelings.
human. Oh
We
my
are
God.
human beings. It's but so much you can take. There's so much going
Yes.
on. You're trying to show up and smile at the job. You're trying to do all
Yes.
different things. You have to give yourself grace and say, you know what, I need to talk to somebody.
Yes.
They ain't even gotta say nothing back, but I need to be able to talk to somebody to
Listen.
release all that went on today.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
therapy, please, sir, please,
Yes.
ma'am. If you're overwhelmed, which you most likely probably are at times when
Yes.
it comes to being an autism parent,
Yes.
get the help you also need, for
Absolutely.
yourself. Because
Absolutely.
what's in you comes out of you. So if you're
Yes.
trying to teach your son a certain thing, it's gonna come out wrong because you're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed and
That's
you
right.
haven't been able to release. So please
Exactly.
do yourself
Absolutely.
and your child, that much
That,
to get the help that you need for your
absolutely.
mental state as well.
Absolutely.
And listen, you
Absolutely.
gotta take a day off.
Take a
Take
day
a day
off.
off.
Get a woosah.
take that day off. Please take that
Mhm.
day off for somebody, because you might respond wrong at work.
That's right.
Okay, or wherever you are, and it turned into something else. You don't want to go viral, so
No,
please
no,
take that day
you
off.
know, mental health days.
Mental health day.
Mental health
Yep,
days. They're
take the mental
important.
health day for
Yes,
sure.
because see, what they fail to understand is that yes, we're believers and we have faith, but God gives us wisdom.
Yeah,
So coupled with
absolutely,
therapies and prayer, you put it together, honey. It's a big bang.
absolutely.
We're
And
not.
you're
We
gonna have, no one's perfect. We're made out of dirt. No one is perfect. You're gonna have days and moments where you're not yourself, or you
listen,
respond in a way that doesn't seem so
girl.
positive.
I had
And
those.
listen, it
I be having.
happens.
Hmm.
Huh? What'd you say?
I have them all the time, girl. Listen. And God be
Yeah.
pushing
So
me. I be like, God, because you know.
give yourself
Listen,
grace.
I need a
Give
glass of wine.
yourself
Hold
grace.
on. I need something to drink. I need some water. I need something because the
I need
system.
something.
We need
Yeah. Mhm. Give yourself grace. All right. So
something.
we have heavenly head wraps.
Hmm.
We have the journals.
Hmm.
What is next for Miss Melissa Mason and Jordan? I love his name.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
welcome. Love the name. Love the name.
Oh my God, that listen, Powder Daddy, shout out Daddy, get your kudos for that. Um,
Yeah.
when he first told me, because I was like, but then I was
You're
like,
like, huh?
I like that name. Good
I
daddy.
think I like it.
Yeah, go
I think
ahead.
it's gonna stick. I think it's gonna stick.
Yes. And God gave it to him that way, so I would have to respect the man of God for what he said. God
That's
said.
it. Okay. Boop. That's it.
All
So
period.
what is next for you? What
What's
you
next?
desire? We know the book is gonna do. We know, and we're speaking that this
Mhm.
book is gonna reach the masses,
Yes,
and
Lord.
not just autistic mommies and daddies, but
Yes,
those who have a desire to learn and just to grow.
yes.
What is next for you? What do you see coming?
Well, God ain't playing. He still got me writing, so there's more books to come.
Yay.
Think. Oh my God, I'm a little nervous. Now I gotta do, and there's
You
more
got this.
series of um not just journals, but like manuals for mommies and
Love it.
other things for moms. I want to really, really, really make sure this is for my mommies because we need this all the time.
Yeah.
The things that are not mentioned, the things that are
Hmm.
not talked about,
Hmm.
that all that's coming. It's on its
Right.
way.
Love
More
it.
books, my story. Um,
Hmm.
there's so many little things.
I
Like
love
I
it.
said, the organization.
Hmm.
Once this pandemic passes and we can enter into a space,
Hmm.
there's some things that's coming, y'all.
Yay.
Yes, there's some amazing
I'm
things
excited. I'm
coming.
excited. I can't
But
wait.
I'm just letting God have His way because some things you got to leave
Just
until
for
that's
him. Absolutely.
Him. And
I know.
so right now I'm in school, so I'm
Hmm.
finishing up my degree,
Okay.
and I'll be
And what are you
finished.
in school for? This is business?
No, I'm actually doing psych. I'm a psych major. I'm a
Yes.
major in education. Mm-hmm.
That was my major child. Go ahead.
See, you not know
All
me.
right,
Hold
all
on,
right,
keep
all
me
right.
going.
Let's
Keep me
go. Let's go. Go
going.
ahead, God. I love this. I
Yes,
love this.
yes.
I want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons that I reached out to Melissa was not just because of her journals, because I understood that she was bold enough to do these journals. Because what happens is when you start to realize that, God has souls connected to your story and connected to who he's created you to be, it becomes very personal, but it's not easy. So I wanted her to be who she is. I knew she was going to be herself. I wanted her, to be transparent. I wanted her to be, unapologetically her, and share what, not just what she's gone through, but how what she's gone through has affected other people. If we really take it personal to understand that our stories and our testimonies are not just about us, that we are examples to other people, we will move accordingly. So, my prayers are for you and Jordan to continue to be great, at being human beings, because there's so many people that are going to yearn to be, how can I say, to overcome just like you have, and yearn to have a relationship with God, because they're like, whoa, like, wait a minute. She went from thinking she was gonna be a nurse to now she's doing head wraps, and she God is blessing her during the pandemic, and I'm trying to figure things out during the pandemic, but now she's an author, now she's doing all different things, and it's God. I need to know who this God is. I need to tap into my gifts. I need to tap into my strength. I need to look to the hills which cometh my help, because Melissa Mason answered the inbox. So I know God will align. I know there's divine connections. So thank you,
Oh,
from the bottom of my heart.
yeah.
Thank you, for sharing your gifts. I'm getting emotional. Um, there's more.
Yeah.
Keep praying. Keep allowing God to keep your ears sensitive to his voice.
Mhm.
Because when you are going through different things and life can get hard, sometimes you don't know if you're hearing from God.
Mhm.
Sometimes you're not sure if it's your emotions. Sometimes you're not sure if it's the enemy trying to hinder you.
Mhm.
So, my prayer is that you continue to hear from God and that you move when
Mhm.
he speaks,
Mhm.
and that you continue to pour into other mommies,
Mhm.
and that your organization grows to a place that you can't even see right now, that it grows beyond,
Mhm.
where other mamas is coming on these kind of platforms and saying, oh yeah, no, I it was a group called Extraordinary Moms. I saw
Mhm.
it on Instagram and I joined, and then now I'm Oprah. You know what I'm
And
saying? Like
you better stop that.
that's
You
my
know you
prayers.
only the business. You
That's my prayers. That's my prayers for you. That is
I'm gonna
my prayers
receive
for
it.
you. So
I'm gonna receive
continue
it.
to be obedient.
Woo.
I'm excited for you. Oh my God.
Thank
I
you,
got
Jesus.
chills.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Thank
If you had anything to leave us with, um, just anything that's on your heart, don't have to be connected to autism,
you.
whatever, what would you say to us?
My God, it's so much.
Right.
Honestly, don't give up. I know we hear that all the time, but
Hmm.
um, I'll say this: when I was growing up, um, I would always have this fighter in me,
Hmm.
and I always got a lot of opposition growing, coming up, even my teenage years. But
Hmm.
there was always something that said, "You got to keep fighting, girl.
Mm.
You got to keep fighting." At the time, we know nothing about no Holy Spirit. I didn't know nothing about
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
But there was always this that you can't let them see you lose.
Come
You
on.
can't die in this. We're gonna
Come
have failures.
on.
We're not gonna win everything. But there was always this girl. Get on up. You gonna rise again. If you fall, you gonna come on. And I don't know that inner, whatever at the time, not knowing it was the Holy Spirit, and
Hmm.
girl, come on. You just gotta keep going.
Mm.
You gotta keep going and surround yourself with positive people.
That's the one.
We
Hmm.
don't always, and I don't care if you got to dismiss from family,
Oh,
friends.
I
You
was
could
about
have
to ask
known
you
them
that.
from you were like two. I don't care. Y'all was come back from babies like from back way back from baby pacifier.
Hmm.
If they're not conducive to your
Come
growth,
on and help somebody.
and if they're not parallel to your vision and where God is taking you, you gotta go. Cut it.
Yeah, cut it. Don't
Cut it.
play with it. Don't play with it.
Don't play with it. And don't be afraid. You're never alone. Even if it feels like you're in the wilderness, you're never alone. Because
Come
God will
on.
connect you with the right ones, but sometimes you got to remove the hindrance and the
Hmm.
leeches that are sucking from your grace.
Hmm.
Because God ain't gonna shower you with the blessings if He knows the leeches are there.
Yep.
So what I would say is you keep going, and whatever you feel, because if you feel goodness and positivity, then you go towards that,
Right.
in spite of what the crowd is saying. You keep going. Just keep going. Keep pressing. And it's all gonna make sense in a minute. Because it's gonna all come together for the good. Because Romans 8:28 says all things
All
work
things.
together for the good. For those who trust God.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Woo!
blessings of the Lord that maketh us rich and addeth no sorrow is what
Yeah.
we desire.
Hmm.
And that's it. Just keep going, guys. That's all
I
I can
love it.
say.
Keep going.
Keep going.
This was so good.
Oh
This
my
was so good. This was so good. This was so good. Oh, this was so good. I'm just in awe of God.
Thank
He's
you, Lord.
amazing. He
Woo.
knows what he's doing.
Mhm.
And like I said, please stay in touch with me. I want to hear the
Oh, yes.
story. I want to
Yes.
hear all the good stuff. I want to hear everything that comes out of Extraordinary Moms, everything that comes out of this prayer book. I'm gonna put everything in the description for you
Yes.
guys to support Melissa Mason and Jordan. I know there's gonna
Yes.
be some things coming out of Jordan, honey, because I
Oh
can
my
feel it. I
God.
can feel it,
Yes.
honey. I don't know what it is,
Oh
but I can
God.
feel that thing. I feel that
Yes.
thing. Mark my words, Jordan. I feel that thing. Okay. And I know mommy gonna nurture it. Mommy gonna
Yes.
plant it. She gonna water it. She gonna do what she needs to do for you because she loves you and she knows that you are a gift.
Yes.
I love that
Thank
you
you,
said
Lord.
you said that our children are gifts. I really want people to understand the importance of
Hmm.
being a parent. We love to dress them up. They cute. Oh yeah, they cute. But it's,
Mhm.
it's a life. It's a life that's gonna be here most likely after we go. So it's a gift. You're obligated to do right by your son and your daughter because they're going to
Mhm.
be effective people in this world.
Yes.
Um, thank you. I could be here another half hour.
Girl, you know
But
me.
thank you. Thank you
Yes.
so much
Thank
for
you for
sharing your
having
gift.
me. Thank
Heavenly
you.
Heavenly head wraps.
Yes.
We have extraordinary moms. That's with an X, right?
Yes.
I said it right.
You got
All
it,
right.
girl.
Extraordinary moms. Give the title of the prayer book, the
Yes.
prayer journal, excuse me.
It's 10 powerful prayer.
10 powerful prayer. I love, and she made the cover, y'all. Come
Yeah.
on, if God don't make room for your gifts, honey. Love
Yes.
it. Love it.
Yes.
And let me say that, to those who are writing, because I
Mhm.
know there's some people here, people reach out to me all the time. Like, I want to write a book. I'm like, bro, keep writing. Keep
Mhm.
writing, keep writing.
Mhm.
She kept writing.
Mhm.
God was waking up in the middle of the night with
Mhm.
tears in her eyes. She kept
Mhm.
writing. And I know that
Mhm.
because I had to go through the same thing. Your
Mhm.
obedience will lead you into your purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Amen. Your
Mhm.
obedience will lead you into your purpose. And your purpose will bring you into rooms and open up doors that you can't even fathom. So be obedient.
Amen.
People use it kind of as a cliche. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I don't think they really understand what they be saying.
No, no.
I don't think they really, really get it.
They don't get it.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
greatness, there's purpose connected to your obedience. So it will behoove you to be obedient, especially in this season, because God has his believers on display, y'all.
On
He has his
display.
believers on display. The believers are being blessed
Listen.
in this season.
He's separating the sheep from the goats because now the real is
Oh,
coming out. Yeah, the real
why
deal.
he's revealing so much.
The shifting of the guards because those that were hidden are put into the. He's pushing to the front. The
Push to the front.
authentics. He
Oh yeah.
covered us and he had us in covered place in a secret place. And
And
he
it's
said,
confusing the enemy.
"It is because
It's
I
confusing the enemy, honey. He's
listen.
confused.
Somebody call Oprah because I'm gonna be on her show in a minute. And my book gonna be in her book club. I prophesy. Come on, Oprah.
Speak it. Speak it.
Girl.
Telling
All
you.
right, come on.
Your
Helen, I'll be there in
obedience.
a minute, Helen. I'm coming
Your
on your chair.
obedience. Like I said, if she wasn't obedient and said, okay, I can't be a nurse because God got me doing this. Okay, I need
Mm-hmm.
that so much. The snowball effect would
Mm-hmm.
not be real. Extraordinary moms probably wouldn't be here. Amen. The prayer journal probably would not exist if she would just said, you know what? Everybody in my family's in medical field. I gotta do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
She would have missed it.
Mm-hmm.
She would have missed it. So
Mm-hmm.
obedience. And you heard Miss Melissa Mason. She said to keep going. And I love that. We ain't gotta be all deep all the time.
No.
Keep going. Those two words is enough to push somebody along to say, I got this. I gotta keep going.
Keep
If
going.
you don't remember nothing else, keep going.
Keep going.
She said, keep going. Thank you so much for coming on
Yes.
tonight. Oh
Thank
my gosh.
you.
Jesus. I'm bubbling over. I'm trying to get off. I'm bubbling
I
over.
know.
And God gonna have to help me with this as a podcast because I get into it. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? That's
Yes.
why,
That's our stuff.
yeah, I don't expect my podcast to look like anybody else's because I can
Yes.
only be me. I don't want to be
Yes.
nobody else.
Nobody.
So
That's
when
it.
I'm feeling this is what it's about. This is about God.
Yes.
This is about him being glorified.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
keep going.
Thank you.
Melissa Mason said, keep going. Amen. Thank you
Amen.
so much. Anybody you want to say anything to? Any programs that you would
Mm-hmm.
suggest for anyone in the Jersey area, or even in New York? I know you left
Mm-hmm.
because God told you to, but if there were good programs, in Brooklyn or whatever, you can definitely share here.
Okay. Let me see. New York. I know. I believe it was called Healthy Families. They would have those programs that I would go. I was a part of, and I remember when I was pregnant with my son, I was able to get a private nurse to come to the house for the first year. So a lot of moms don't know that, but
Right.
I think I got the connection through the hospital
Okay.
when I was where I was going to give birth to. So you can inquire, you can Google, but for first time mothers in New York, if
Mhm.
you're a first time mom, you're entitled and you can receive a private nurse to come to your home. I had the privilege, God graced me
Love
with
that.
that. And I had, yeah, she was there to help me before the
Mhm.
baby, and she schooled me, and I would get pamphlets. She would bring me books. I went to Lamar's classes. After that,
Ooh,
yes, and I did mommy and me classes with him, play dates with other
love
moms that
mommy
I'm
and me.
still connected to. We went to music classes, we went to picnics, so things like that. It keeps you connected with other
Yes.
mothers. I'm still connected with some. So
Mhm.
12 years ago that we met, we had babies together. We were
Love
going to
it.
the hospital together. So definitely look into that, into your local WIC offices. When you are
Right.
in New York, yes, they
Mhm.
definitely give connections, because I got connections through them as well.
Okay.
So it's always good to wherever you go for your clinic and your follow-ups, or you just Google some things,
Mhm.
and just keep your ears open and be open to receive,
Right.
because sometimes as parents or just mothers or whatever, they tend to get a little prideful, like, I don't want to hear about it, or
Mhm.
that's too good for me. No, be open and be
Yes.
receptive, and
Yes.
know what's going on in your communities.
Yes.
Ain't nobody
Absolutely.
trying. You don't have to be all up in the politics and all that, but know a little something, something, and
Yeah.
what's going on. Be open to that and drop the pride. Pride is going to
Ooh,
kill a lot of us.
that's the
You
one,
got to be humble
Melissa.
enough to say, I don't know
Mhm.
what's going on.
I don't know everything.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm that student in class even now when my professors are talking. I'm like, hold on, professor, hold
Mhm.
on,
Mhm.
because you might have to back that thing up, because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I ain't been to school in a while. You
I
you
mean,
got
I'm
it.
trying to tell you this
I'm
brain
a
right
little rough
here.
around the edges right
Yeah,
now.
I'm gonna need you to hold on. Wait a minute. This
Yep.
is why we got to have a humble. Everybody is not like, but you
Mm.
got to humble yourself
Yes. Say
and
that.
being able to say, you know what, I don't know,
I
but
don't
help me
know.
out, and that's me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Awesome. So
Mhm.
anything in Jersey?
In Jersey, oh my God, Jersey has so many different organizations and
I
programs.
love it.
I'm gonna have to probably just put it on my page or something,
Yeah.
a listing of programs. But there's so many programs here that accommodates children with special needs. And we also have a school. It's the Burlington County Special School Services, where it's a school that specializes for all autistic children from the age of what, pre-K to 12th grade.
Oh wow.
Yes, so it's a
All
particular
right.
district. Yes, so the entire school is
Mhm.
accommodates children with special needs from
Wow.
the age of that,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
all the way to 12. Because I've worked there for a couple of weeks,
Okay.
and yeah, so there's different programs. There's so many different programs here. I'm still learning, girl, because I'm new here.
Yeah.
There's so many little programs, and you know what I love, and many people don't get the opportunity to move from out of where they are to a suburbs,
Right.
but you don't need to do that. You can take the suburbs to where you are.
Say that. Say it.
Because guess what?
Say that.
When I was in Brooklyn, me and my little son was in Prospect Park,
I know that's right.
and we were going down with our little stuff, and we'll have our
Mhm.
little picnic. So don't limit
It's
yourself.
a mindset. It's a
It's a mindset.
mindset. It is a
Take the
mindset.
train, go to Central Park.
Yep.
Go over here, go to the farmers market, teach them about fruits
Help
and
somebody,
vegetables.
Melissa. Help
All the time,
somebody.
we're gonna always have, but there's some things that are there that you
Right.
can offer them outside of saying, well, I don't, no, no, no,
I don't
no.
live there.
You create that. We used to go fishing right in Prospect
Mhm.
Park. And when his special needs teacher used to come to the house, and he said, all right, do you mind if I teach Jardine fishing? Why not?
I know that's right.
We went fishing, we did all that,
Wow.
picnics and all that. So
Mhm.
you're not limited. It's a mindset.
It is a
I, I,
mindset.
I had that mindset before I got out of Brooklyn.
Mhm.
So when I came here, I was already adjusted,
Right. Say,
because I saw myself and my children and my family with the picket fence. I
mhm.
want that whole life. I
Say
want that.
it.
Yes, yes.
See it before you see it.
People, you see it. Create
Yeah.
that for your child, and it doesn't require a lot of money. So don't be talking about, I
Yep.
don't got this. Stop the
Say that
press.
one. Say that one. I would listen. When he was little, I would get at parents. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just take him to the park.
Take them to the park.
Oh, cause I don't have money to. I'm like, there's free things to do. There's stuff you can
We
do
went
for
all
free.
free events. We
Mhm.
was on there. I was one of those moms. Okay, we got mommy and me
Oh,
classes. Oh, you're playing
listen,
the drums
mommy
in the
and
park. Oh,
me,
yeah.
everything they did at
Oh,
the libraries. I would go to
the
other
library.
town
There you
libraries
go.
and do they stuff.
Yes.
Please, you can
And there you
find
go.
ways. It's
You could find
mindset.
it. Another one,
Hmm.
Brooklyn Public Library in Brooklyn. There's an
Hmm.
autism room, because I used to take my son there. So
Hmm.
they have a section in the Brooklyn Children's Library, the Brooklyn Public Children's Library in Brooklyn. There's
Hmm.
an autism room and an autism section.
Hmm. See
And I would
that?
take my son. Yep.
I
There's no
love this.
excuses, y'all.
That's
Mhm.
right. No excuses. No
And
excuses.
they have special days. You go
Google is
online,
life.
you find out when they have it on sale or they're free. And you
Mm-hmm.
go in with little Twinkie and you take them in and let them have that experience.
That's it. And they'll never forget it. It'll be the best time. I'm
The
telling you,
best
all the free stuff, my son used to have a ball. The free stuff, listen, listen. Oh, this is so good. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Yeah, and definitely
absolutely.
please, I'm gonna follow you later. If you post some things, I'll definitely repost it as well.
Yes.
We gotta stay connected. Anything you're doing, please let me know or tag me,
Mhm.
whatever you need to do.
Yes.
I just feel God is gonna move in this.
Mm.
I just feel that he is. I just feel that he is. I honestly do feel that there's so
Yes.
much. There's so much that's gonna come from you. Woo.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. But
I receive it.
telling you, I'm telling you,
Oh
I
my
see
God.
it, honey. I see
Oh
that.
God.
And
Thank
Jordan,
you.
I keep seeing your son's face. So just continue to
Oh,
pray over him, anoint him,
yes,
pray over
yes,
your child.
yes,
Um,
my
yeah,
God.
because
Mm.
my God, I'm so glad it's gonna be on YouTube because YouTube is forever.
Yes.
So when I see Jordan, whatever God's going to do for her, I'm be like, episode such and such. That time when I was a podcaster. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, look at God. Listen, I
Yes.
feel that thing. I feel
Woo.
that.
Thank you,
So
Lord. I
obedience,
receive it from
obedience,
you.
obedience. God,
Thank
keep
you,
her
God.
ears sensitive, Lord. Keep her ears
Yes.
sensitive to your voice.
Yes,
Amen.
Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Once again, I know I done said it like 10 times. Thank
Yeah,
you so
girl.
much for coming.
Thank you. But no, girl, we be like
We
that. No,
closing
no.
out. We closing out in real life, y'all.
For real
Thank you
life, real
so much,
life.
Melissa Mason.
Yes.
Tell the people where they can find you, your
Yes.
websites, your Instagram. Go ahead.
Okay, so on Instagram, it's at Extraordinary Moms with an X, X T X T. Wait, how you spell XTRA? Ordinary Moms. I'm sorry.
That's
It's
okay.
also the same on Facebook,
Okay.
Twitter page.
Okay.
My website for my head wraps, because I also have my journals on there. You can
Right.
purchase from there, and I have
Mhm.
the ebook as well for
Right.
downloads. It's www.heavenlyheadwraps.store www.heavenlyheadwraps.store.
Mhm.
My book is also available on Amazon. If you put the 10 powerful prayers, it's on there. You get this book, not the older one, but this one with the flowers on it. This is the
That's
edited
it.
version.
Love it.
And it's also available in Barnes and Nobles.
Yes. Get there, guys. Get to the websites. Get
Yeah,
support this
thank you.
amazing woman of God, the
Mhm.
autism mom. Support her and Jordan because whatever God is
Yes.
doing for her, he's doing for her child. So support the both of them. Please share, subscribe, and
Yes.
like this. Share this to anyone you
Yes.
know wants to be encouraged because I'm encouraged.
Yes.
I'm encouraged. This is
Thank
this right
you.
here is the epitome of what God gave me. She's
Yes.
three E's to encourage, empower, and to educate. So
Yes,
please, sir,
Lord.
please, ma'am, if someone came on your heart while you were in tune with this, send this to
Mhm.
them. Bless
Yes.
somebody and continue. Make sure you are following Melissa Mason because we know there's going to be more coming from her. Continue to
Yes.
pray for her and her son, and pray for
Please.
yourself. Um,
Mhm.
Continue to allow God to speak to your heart,
Yes.
concerning autism. Learn,
Yes.
educate yourself on
Yes.
autism. Everybody's
And your
different. Every
children.
situation is not the same. So please
Yes.
educate yourself. Before you
Yes.
came on, I was sharing about law enforcement and things that we've had to watch go on connected to our adult, especially these adults being murdered and things
Mm.
of that nature. Educate yourself.
Yes.
Please, sir, please,
Is
ma'am.
important. Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. Educate
Hmm.
yourself. And
Yeah. Educate
also,
yourself.
even if you're not a special needs parent and
Mhm.
you have children, educate your children about special needs children so
Absolutely.
they can
The
be more
language to
compassionate and
use.
empathetic.
Yes.
Yes. So it
Thank you for
doesn't come
saying
off
that.
as an offense to these
Right.
children. And
Mhm.
so I read something about a child being offended because they called her brother weird or something. She wrote a letter.
Mhm.
I don't know if I was reading on Instagram or something. So
Mhm.
it's important that parents don't be
Mhm.
ignorant. Educate your children because we're
Yes.
all inclusion. It's inclusive now. It's out there. So you need to
Absolutely.
tell. I mean, look at Sesame Street. They're incorporating special needs in
They
all.
are. They
Yes,
are. They have. Yep.
they have. So we need to educate our children. So when they see Molly,
Absolutely.
they're like, "Mommy, I saw that on Sesame Street. What is autism? What does this
Mhm.
mean?" And I have to,
Absolutely.
educate your children so they can be more compassionate and empathetic for other children that have special needs.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And educate if you have other children who are in the home,
yes,
educate them as well so they're
yes,
not blindsided when someone says something. They know how to respond.
Yes.
When it comes to their siblings, say, "Oh, well,
Yes.
my brother has such and such,
Yes.
and he's great at this,
There
so
you go.
I can show you that." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So even with that, so thank you for even saying that for sure.
Yes. And even if
Yeah.
the child, I'm sorry to piggyback off of what you said, even if that child has a special needs, and guess what? They can't do that. They don't have the ability. It's okay.
It's okay. Absolutely.
Everybody has a different
Mhm.
superpower and or weakness or a challenge, but that doesn't make them any less than. So
Right.
it's okay.
It
We
is
have to teach
absolutely
them that
okay.
it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this was so good. Thank you so much for coming on, Miss Melissa Mason, author, entrepreneur, advocate,
Woo.
um, owner of Extraordinary Moms LLC, soon to
Yes.
be non-for-profit. She's gonna do some things, y'all. Y'all see her today? She gonna be looking a whole other different way. She might even remember me later on. She might be
Girl,
like,
I know
"Who?
you, girl, because you're gonna be
Oh,
over
that little podcast I was on in 2021. Oh yeah, I did something." No, I'm kidding.
here.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No,
I know.
you're amazing.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. I'm so humble. I'm so
Thank
humble.
you.
I'm so
Oh
humble.
my
Oh my
gosh,
God.
I'm grateful.
I'm still, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's, I promise you, it's just hovering. It's just
I know
hovering.
it's
God is
all
amazing.
good.
God is amazing.
Uh-huh.
So continue to be you. Continue to be transparent.
Yeah.
Continue to stay on the assignment that God
Mhm.
has given you, because so many are looking to you, your
Mhm.
strength,
Mhm.
being humble, your joy, your
Mhm.
spirit. So,
Mhm.
just continue to be unapologetically you. And thank you
Yeah.
once again for coming on tonight. Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, Melissa Mason, make sure you subscribe to Hot Mic with Lady She podcast. And we are
Yes.
absolutely ending this time.
Yes.
Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you. And if you guys want to get these, I make them too. I made these
Oh,
by
yes,
hand. So it's
please,
on my
please.
website.
Yes,
Okay.
please visit her website. I gotta get
Yes.
some stuff myself. I think I got stuff in my
And
cart.
I need
I
my
gotta go back.
t-shirts too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna connect about t-shirts. Oh, also
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
the t-shirt I have on now, y'all can't see. I will post
Right.
later on How Michael Ladies
Please.
podcast.
Yes.
The shirt I wore the other day for Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, another awesome person in the autism world. Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
please educate yourself. There's some
Yes.
amazing people
Yes.
you are missing out on. Please, please, sir, please, ma'am, educate yourself. If you
Yes.
have questions, reach out to Melissa. How about
Yes.
that?
Come on.
Reach out.
Come on.
And if
Yes,
she don't
ma'am.
know, she's gonna direct you to somebody who does.
Listen, I'm gonna call
Same thing with
Shanice.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna call
Same thing,
Shanice soon. You know about
same
this.
thing with me. If I don't got the answer, I will direct you to someone who does.
Yes.
Okay? Amen. So yes,
Amen.
continue. We're gonna pray for
Yes.
you and
Thank
just watch
you.
what God is going to do.
Amen.
Stay encouraged, stay
Thank you.
prayerful, and continue to be obedient in all that God is speaking. Thank
Amen.
you, everybody. Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night. Crazy.